11. Then at the end of tonight's stream, we'll be exactly halfway through ALR Silver, just like we was exactly halfway through Gold last night as well. And I've got to say, the Gold Championship may look a little more comfortable for the Championship leader than compared to Troy in this league, but still. Troy's had a fantastic first half of the season. He really has indeed. Then bearing in mind that up until this season, he never won a Grand Prix in ALR Silver before the season. Fantastic stuff indeed. Let's take a look at the track layout, shall we, before we get into any of the drivers and the constructor standings. And this is the state of play. 10 turns then around this Spielberg circuit, and of course the former Österreich ring. This has been on and off the calendar over the numerous decades or so. Of course, it returned to the Formula 1 calendar in 1997 after taking an absence after, was it 1987, I think it was, but it was back on the calendar for 97 for about 6 years before disappearing off the calendar and returning just over 11 years later for the 2014 Austrian Grand Prix, and then of course and that's where we are today really. And now it's the Red Bull ring. It was the Österreich ring, then it was the A1 ring, and now it is the Red Bull ring then as well. So there's a lot of rings around here, isn't there? Let's take the history around this circuit is like this then. The Haas team then absolutely dominated this event last year. They really did indeed. Liam Yeh took his first pole position of his silver career. Magnificent pole it was indeed then. But it was German who took the spoils, didn't he, with his second Grand Prix win in succession as well. Brandon, the former ALR race winner, got the fast up around this event as well for 1:05.091. That's also the all-time lap record around here in silver. Anyway, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? The drivers constructors was a bit dodgy last week, wasn't it? Because someone broke their formula spreadsheet, and that just shows that my brain can't comprehend when anything goes wrong. You see, so yeah. But I blame Dan because he's the head admin of silver, isn't he? In the drivers' championship, it is like this. Troy leads the championship 52 points. It is not as big as Emerson's lead, but my goodness me, that is still quite a sizable margin. Gamer returns to action tonight then. Let's see what Gamer can do as well then. It's going to be Gamer needs to get back onto winning form, doesn't he? He hasn't won a Grand Prix since round 5 now, which feels like a very long time ago, doesn't it? It is a very long time in the world of Formula 1, and that is a fact as well. We're on round 11 now, but remember, the former bronze world champion Nude Potato is at 111 points away from the Troy, 59 points away from Nude Potato at this moment then. Gamer Nude Potato is up into third position as well, so he's on the final promotion spot. Nigel is 2 points behind, I should say, in a full position. Welshman, Nado and Curly have dropped down to 5th and 6th, and after a very disappointing round last time out in France, I think it was, then everything else was status quo apart from BP. Moon at 3 positions is now up into 13th, and Jake the Slayer had a cracking debut last time out. He is now up into 17th position as well. Unfortunately, Ayrton has dropped into the relegation zone, as has Billet, and Farfa, who also made his debut, second race start in silver, is down in 20th position as well. In the constructor standings, it is as this. We have Renault leading the championship, just like they're in gold, and they're absolutely fantastic this season. They really are indeed. This is the final time that Renault will be in an ALR World Championship in a foreseeable future, as they will be Alpine for next season. And I got a beep in my ear, and I thought, it's the game, that's why. Mercedes in second position, 49 points away. Red Bull are in third position now, on a bit of a wobbly lately, aren't they? And because of that, McLaren have snuck up behind them. They're 1 point back now. Ferrari are also 1 point beyond Red Bull as well. It's a great battle between Red Bull, McLaren, and Ferrari. Goodness me, it feels like 2010 all over again. Great. Alfa Romeo in sixth position. They've moved up 2 positions. Strong performances the last couple of races. Williams and Haas have dropped down 1 position each. AlphaTauri in 9th, and Racing Point, who have finally got some points on the board and now are absolutely surging away, aren't they, in the constructor standing sense. So good stuff indeed there for Racing Point tonight, for Racing Point this season as well. A couple of announcements then to make tonight then as well. Of course, is this anyone's milestone tonight? It's going to be the 25th Grand Prix start for Gordo tonight. Fantastic stuff. Baz is on his 30th Grand Prix start as well. Great stuff indeed. 15th for Welsh Maldonado, and Curly is on 10 as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then. So good stuff then for all those guys and girls then out there. Right then, it's a lovely day out here in Austria, isn't it? Look at that then. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. It's like, oh goodness me. Right then, let's take a look at the comments, shall we? As I've also got a Sky Sports notification as well. It's something about Dylan White or something like that. I don't really know boxing, to be fair. But all I know is that Anthony Joshua is quite a tough man, isn't he, to say the least. Gordo saying he's the first, and also hello as well. Formula Moments, hello, good evening. Ayrton saying hello, Sean. I'm using no traction tonight, then. So if I do a Turkish Bottas spin every corner, you know why then. Of course, it might be a Felipe Massa from 2008 as well. Of course, that was probably a horrific Grand Prix, wasn't it, for Felipe Massa? Gamer return to charge tonight. He's just said hello. Nigel, race day. Dylan saying evening, teammate. Good evening, Dylan. Me and Dylan will be driving in the Williams in a week's time, then 8 days time. Then was the first official start of bronze, and me and Dylan will be driving in the Constructors World Champions from bronze from the season before. So we've got big shoes to fill. Really good stuff indeed. Luckily though, I have small feet of a size 6 shoe. I have. As out of the pits now comes at Wilson. We've also got Goro saying, out with the excuses already, are we? As Ayrton said, he needs an excuse every week. I need every excuse. Wilson saying, oh gosh, stay away from Ayrton tonight then. Yeah, just leave me spinning a circle in turn 3. Remember, we've got to be nice to it. Well, I've got to be nice to Ayrton now because he's my head admin for bronze, and I've really got to keep my keep in line, haven't I? Otherwise, I might be in and out of Discord quite often. It's going to be like the hokey cokey, I think. So especially my bad temper when I don't do very well. On board Jake Wilson at the moment, and he is in the red ball, just flicking it into the middle part. Then Sam, hello, good evening, Sam. Gordo as well. It's a nightmare on the medium. Never mind off. And young Tommy, good evening, lads. Hello, young Tommy. Serious Russian, good luck, Ayrton. Best way to go, lad. Great stuff indeed. Then someone has unsubscribed. Have they? Oh yeah, we were on 291 then, which is absolutely disgraceful, isn't it? So someone who's unsubscribed, then I hope you hang your head in shame. To be honest, I don't blame him really, but when we have the beautiful tones of Ayrton and Bailey next week in bronze, we might have go up to 300 subscribers hopefully. And of course also tomorrow night Ayrton will be streaming the ALR bronze pre-race, and we should be in Brazil then. Is Ayrton's a second home from homes as well, isn't it? He didn't choose it. I think all the drivers chose it, didn't they? So yeah, good stuff indeed then. Which I'm fairly happy with, really, because I don't really like Silverstone, to be honest. So get the round one out the way, the better for me, I would say. But yes, Ayrton will be streaming on his channel tomorrow night just to test the audio and all that kind of jazz, which is something that I really wish I should do. But unfortunately, I'm not a long-term thinker like Ayrton, so there you go. I just kind of wing everything. Wilson then is definitely not winging anything, is he? He's a very good Formula 1 driver. He really is indeed. Then he puts in the testing miles. He makes sure that he's got a right setup indeed. Then has he got the right setup for today's action? Then over the line comes Wilson. He is the fastest of the drive so far, and straight in the 3.7s already. A hot timer right from the get-go. Lovely stuff indeed then. Brilliant. As Payne's there just come across the line then to start off. It's like then Gordo, who I got to say is on a fantastic season. He really is. And of course Gordo making his 25th Grand Prix starter tonight as well. So good stuff there from Gordo. Really lovely jubbly indeed. Then of course Gordo made his debut in silver, if I'm not very much mistaken, back in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix of season 2. Got yellow flags up fluttering at the moment. Potato in the second part of the lap now, and he's the furthest away through the lap as well. Then Sam was saying, thought it was a £4. 4 quid? No, well, if it's 4 quid, it's only 99p, isn't it? Which, I got to say, I used to love those 99p stores. You got a brilliant quality bin, didn't you, when you went to those stores? New Potato then is going at second fastest at the moment, and just a fraction in front of Gordo in second position. Good stuff indeed there from New Potato. Brilliant. We've got Ayrton, who's just starting his lap as well. Of course, Ayrton's already warned us about his lack of grip tonight, shall we say. Serious Mushroom's the slowest of the time so far, but Payne's isn't. Remember, Payne's came in, returned to silver, and he just absolutely absolutely decimated the opposition in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He had a bit of a difficult race, didn't he, since then? So let's see if we can get back onto the saddle as well. And look at these cars here. Goodness me, Welshman had to thread the eye of the needle at that part of the course. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gosh. And as Ayrton Ennis are on board with Ayrton as he is now coming over the crest of the hill as well. And Gamer saying there's rain at the end of the race, and Gordo said, of course. Yeah, of course it is. We always seem to have rain at the end of the race here in this race, don't we? Ayrton's going right for 5th fastest at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. And Maldonado there is invalidated time. I think she's going to be very unhappy as TK is in the session now. Of course, TK, I think there was an update, wasn't there, which is why TK is slightly behind the 8 ball tonight. Of course, I was also almost caught out by that as well. So luckily, I got in just in the nick of time as well. A dry start to the race, rain at the end there from Wilson as well. Liam, yeah, saying even though good luck, Silver, good stuff indeed. Also rain at the end of qualifying, so we got a lot of rain then. And Formula Moments has just said that there is rain at in 10 minutes here, so you've got to be out quite pronto here. Oh goodness gracious me, then this is going to get very interesting indeed then, didn't it? It's like a month all over again with the traffic in quali. Yes, that was very much definitely was the fact for Welsh Maldonado. She's going to be very unhappy camper about that, isn't she? Talking of camping, and I think there's I'd love to go to this race there because there's a good old campsite, isn't there, to the left of this circuit, and it's brilliant stuff indeed. And you get some amazing vantage points as well. Of course, I've never been to Austria because the only other country I've ever been to is Wales, so that's as far as my travelling experience goes. But of course, that is from the beautiful segment that Ted Kraus is involved in. Maldonado's going at full fastest at the moment. We've got Curly who's just pinched her spot by 300th of a second. Curly in a beautiful yellow helmet there. Lovely stuff indeed there in 4th position then. But BP just quickly eclipses Curly and goes into 4th fastest as well then. These qualifying times is not to get pole position, the outright pole position lap around here. This is just to get out of Q1, which there's going to be 4 drivers then that is going to be fighting for a place to get out of qualifying 1 then. As Formula Moment saying, helps my finger out as a trial break, and then I was a 10th up but then violated from Gordo. Of course then as Jake the Slayer has hurt his finger at work, hasn't he? So he's going to be very, and of course now it's something you've got to factor in really, isn't it? Because you and it's his breaking finger as well then, so you've really got to factor that in, haven't you? And just how is that going to affect him going into this race tonight? And it's going to be quite difficult for Slayer, isn't it? Remember he had a great debut last week, didn't he? And of course that's why he's jumped up from quite a number of positions then. Troy's gone fast there, almost half a second in front of Paint, and that is a very early benchmark. That's an early throwing the gauntlet down there. Goodness gracious me, what can Gamer do? Nigel's left the session in disgust, I think. Hopefully he'll come back in the not too distant future. Bradfield has just come across me now. They're almost whipping the nose hairs out of my nose there. Bradfield once again showing his strong 1-lap pace then. It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? Well, Steve then just comes in as well then, and he is now second fast then in the DRS there. Well, I think I see the DRS thing flash up in front of me there, and it was, got to say, it was really Oh my God, I felt like I was back in the disco then. But Steve in that second position, and Bradfield in third, BP in fourth position. These are electric times right from the get-go as well. Best quality up I've done in months. Probably still won't be enough to get through. From Wilson. Wilson is currently 6th fast at the moment. Then with the rain in 10 minutes, I think that it's going to be a very up and down qualifying session. Isn't it? Nigel's back in the session. He's recovered from that Troy lap, and he is going to see what he can do. Well, currently he's in the bottom 3 at the moment. Then. And got Slayer out as well then, so Gamer's moved into third fastest at this moment in time. Then he's a 0.2 of a second away from Troy, who has been the benchmark of this league thus far, hasn't he, this season? Remember, Gamer in the first 5 races won 3 of them, but the championship is really completely swung 360. I think that is that a full circle? Probably is, isn't it? The championship is swung 360. Now Troy is the man on the move. It's the 5 Grand Prix wins so far this season for Troy. Fantastic performance there, and he is very much on the march to get promoted to gold as well, and so is Gamer as well. I think Gamer was in gold before, wasn't he? But I think he's a much more complete driver this time around. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Gamer can do in a gold if he gets promoted back up. Of course, there's still a big if, because we ain't even at half distance yet. Anything can happen in Formula 1 and in ALR, and it usually does. And it's a great Murray Walker normally says, doesn't it? It's on board Slayer, and he is just Get on trouble now. Here comes TK. He was a bit late tonight then, so let's see. Well, at the moment, that doesn't look like a quick lap at all or a push lap as he is trying to warm up the tyres. Sarah's done a 15.8 in the first sector. It's a very short lap around here as we're doing about 63 second laps already in this qualifying session. It's only going to get quicker as well. Hopefully, we have the full qualifying session tonight then, as we didn't have it last night because I think Farf's dinner was ready, wasn't it? So he cut the qualifying session short last night. So we did miss qualifying 3, which helped Emerson. And Emerson admitted in the interviews after last night that if it wasn't a qualifying 3, he thinks that Milan would have been on pole position there as well. So a lot of things have fallen into place for the world champion at the moment, haven't they? But of course, as we already mentioned, fortune does favour the brave there, and sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. As I said last night, Emerson is both at the moment now. Remember, he had a lot of bad luck at the Star of Gold last season, though, didn't he? Emerson did, where he had almighty amount of technical gremlins that kept coming in and out of the sessions there and really compromising his start to the season. But this season has been absolutely perfect so far, hasn't it? 10 podiums in the first 11 races, absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. That in this division, silver, we've had 7 pole positions for Troy, 6 pole positions for podiums, I should say, 7 podiums for Troy, 6 pole positions for podiums for Gamer as well. And as I trip over myself, but once again, then TK coming across the line, he is 16 fastest at the moment now, 4/10 of a second away from young Tommy, who is a late entry into the Grand Prix tonight. Then Nigel is just says, wait, and here is the former gold champion, and flicking past me then, and going up into the turn 2/3. I call it 2. MotoGP calls it 3. The official map calls it 3 as well. So technically, you've got to abide by the official documentation, don't you? But luckily, I am not official. So it's turn 2 to me. Coming down to turn 3 as well. Then look at this. Then it's downhill braking, and it really is said. You think you could brake a lot later than you can there, but unfortunately, you're just going to be into the onto the beach there, isn't it? And life can be a beach, but I don't think it should be around here. Nigel in the second sector now. Then he has done a 44.3 in the second intermediate split time. Lovely stuff. Look at that squirrel that he had on the steering wheel. I don't mean a literal squirrel. No, there probably might be a squirrel or two around here in Austria. Is there squirrels in Austria? I assume there is, isn't there? As I have Lord Nigel's left for session. That is not good, is it? And I was enjoying that lap with Nigel as well, but he was about to complete his lap. Billet has gone wide there, and he is unfortunately invalidated his time. Farf is also invalidated as well. TK is coming back in the pits. Young Tommy is about to start his lap. He's in 15th position as it stands at the moment. Then Gordo is asked how's Troy so fast? Then I gotta say it's scarily fast, isn't it? You think you can go quicker, and then then you see Troy getting much quicker now. But Gordo currently down in 13th fastest at the moment, and I think that Gordo, though, remember he was absolutely lightning in a bottle, wasn't he, in the Monaco Grand Prix? Gordo was, but so it might be track Pacific there. But Troy, I've got to say, is an all-round good driver, isn't he? Well, I think that's an understatement of the season, isn't it? Here's car 51. It's young Tommy stepping in very late for FIFA Beefy on board with Welsh Maldonado. Then, of course, last time we seen Pastor, she was having to thread her way through the traffic. This is a full flap on the soft tyres, and much better time for Maldonado. She is half a second away from her teammate, but that is on a couple of laps older tyres, and I think she'd be very happy with that indeed. Farf in the second sector as well. Then, of course, Farf's got a bit of an old school helmet on tonight. Then, goodness me, I think a bit of the old Jack Brabham kind of helmet. Then, lovely stuff indeed there from Farf as he comes over the crest of the hill. Farf currently last in the World Championship at the moment. But that's a little unfair to say that to Farf. But I got to say it nonetheless because I do love giving Farf a good old ribble free. As he comes across the line, he goes 5th fastest. I need to shut my trap in and let Farf get on with it because he's just really ribbed me there, hasn't he? Young Tommy is in 16th fast at the moment. He needs to get out. He needs to find a 10th of a second to get out of qualifying 1 here. Ayrton is currently into qualifying 2 at the moment, and Ayrton is running about no traction control tonight, which I got to say is quite a brave thing to do around here, isn't it? Because there's a lot of traction zones, and the car would just if you're going to lose the back end around this turn 8 and 9 part of the course, you're going to go off in a major big way. We've had a lot of suspension failures around over the years, and I think Danny Fiat had a humongous smash in 2016, 17, 15. I think one of those years anyway. There's a young Tommy still in 16th position moment, and he is edged. He is about 400th of a second behind Ayrton at the moment, and he has done 5 laps. Nigel's back in the session then, but Nigel needs to really get his skates on, doesn't he? Because otherwise he might be out of this qualifying session. That is going to be a huge shock indeed, isn't it? Gordo is starting stars as well, because he's perilously looking over his shoulder as well in the Haas as he comes up the hill into turn at number 2 as well in car 12. Oh, take that time considering things then from Jake the Slayer. Baz has joined the session as well. Then Baz has got 2 minutes to get himself saddled up and ready to go. Then lovely helmet there from Gordo, by the way, fantastic. Gordo saying lost 3/10 of a second in the third sector. Whilst Jake the Slayer there is, I think, just noticed Troy's up then. Troy's done 1 lap, just smashed in a 031 there, and it's just gone back in the pits. So that's a goodness me. It's an absolutely lovely Monday afternoon drive here for Troy at this moment, isn't it? Impressive stuff indeed. As we were just watching a Gordo, then look at that car there. That was understeer, wasn't it? I think that's the most extreme understeer I've seen on any car over the course of this event so far, albeit we've only been, but just like I say, that Gordo comes across the line, he's full fast, he said, but that car just didn't want to turn into turn number 8, did it? But goodness me, that was extreme. But Gordo going up into full fast, that was a good time there from Gordo. He did say that he was losing a bit of time, wasn't he? TK there is almost going to get under the 3-minute mark here, and now we have got a full 20-car grid as well, as Baz is now in the session as well. TK is going to have to go for it now. We've got 1 3/4 minutes to go. There is going to be some tears then. Serious Mushroom so close. I think I'm out then. Serious Mushroom, he might be out here because Serious Mushroom is still in the pits. And we got TK. We've got TK who's a former pole sitter. But look at this, and they're all cars all over the show going up the hill. TK is not going to be impressed with that whatsoever. And is that going to lose him time? Well, we're sticking with TK at the moment then. Steve's retired from the session and he is safe and sound in the pits, I believe. Yes, he is indeed. Baz is still in the pit lane. Is he going to get out there? Baz is coming out of the pits now. It's going to be touch and go for Baz. He really needs to get motoring, don't he? TK is in the second part of the lap as well. Baz then out on circuit. We got Nigel on and out as well. Billet also out there. 5/10 second up. TK is in the second intermediate split time. We got Ayrton out there as well. There is a lot of cars, and Ayrton is just getting around there as well. Just in the corner of my eye that Ayrton was coming out to traffic. He got past one of them, I think. Here's the final turn then for him. TK, look at those clouds. Clouds are coming for not only the drivers, but also the weather gods are also starting to surround the Austrian Grand Prix circuit as well. Ayrton now the final turn. Ayrton goes 9 fast. That's a cracking time there from Ayrton. Then I didn't even talk about his helmet yet. Absolutely disgraceful of me, but I'll try and catch up in a minute. Bullet has won it, and this is all or nothing now for Bullet. Here comes Baz then on the middle part of the circuit as well. We've got a Renault coming up to the line as well. We've also got Wilson about to start his lap. Look at those rain clouds, and we was talking about rain. It was not only 10 minutes away. That 10-minute mark is nearly up then as well. So yes, there is going to be rain in this qualifying session, I foresee, because there's clouds in the sky. And here comes Billet. He is in 18th position. Well then, Baz then is set a time, and I'm completely confused. And I was on board with someone, and I don't know where he's gone. But young Tommy's down into 18th position. Well, and he is he's got 1 more lap to go. Then Serious Mushroom is currently on a lap, and he's just about got a new potato. Oh my goodness me, the man who's for the world championship is out of qualified. Oh goodness gracious me. And wow, Paint is up in the second position, but New Potato, that is an absolute serious shock there. I wasn't expecting that. Billet's out qualifying as well. Here's Baz then on the second part of this lap as well. Wilson's also in go. Oh my goodness me, BP is in major trouble as well. There's 2 major names that could be out qualified here, including Serious Mushroom. Wilson over the final turn, over the far line. Wilson's through. BP is in major issues on. Serious Mushroom's 10th for second out. Where's young Tommy as well? Here he comes, and we've also got Baz. Baz is coming over the final turn. Baz is out of qualifying, unfortunately. And what about young Tommy? Young Tommy is 3/10 of a second up out of the final turn for young Tommy. Let's see, is he not BP out? He's not BP out. Oh my goodness me. And Wesley Williams is parked in the pit lane now, and it's Serious Mushroom who's in the pit lane for some reason. Well, what is going on here? Three podium sitters in silver has Serious Mushroom's been disqualified from the session there. He's parked at the end of the pit lane now. Oh goodness me then. So Serious Mushroom will be going from 17th to 20th on the grid, then he is going to be furious at that. And wow, what is going on in that qualifying session indeed, then that is absolutely shocking to say the least. I wasn't expecting that when I placed my bets here tonight then, and of course that's why I don't do the betting for the Gold Cup here because I have absolutely no idea about bets and stuff like that. But yes, Gordo is exactly right then. 3 huge names are out. Serious Mushroom is out, then Billet is out, Baz is out, New Potato is out, and BP is out as well. Maldonado just getting through by the skin of her nose. She is in 15th position as well. Let's just take confirmation. Let me read these 5 names out again then, because I don't think you heard me correctly. It is Serious Mushroom disqualified. He is down in 19th position. Also out is a Billet. Baz in 18th. New Potato in 17th. BP in 16th position. My goodness me, that is absolutely incredible. I gotta say, if any of you guys and gals put those 5 drivers to be knocked out of qualifying 1, I'm going to ask you for those lottery numbers because that is absolutely incredible, isn't it? Wow, that's qualifying 1 done and dusted. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. Sam saying 19 drivers have made the 03 market. It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? Hashtag Tommy for president. Tommy, let's go. As Cryptic said, show us Tommy. And yes, very good stuff indeed there for Tommy there. A brilliant lap indeed then. Serious much saying the game stopped my car then. So yeah, it did look. Oh my gosh, there is rain. Oh, there's rain afoot then. I think the driver's going to have to come out straight from the get-go here. I'm trying to catch up with the comments as well, but I'm struggling here. Oh, goodness me. Gurman saying, let's go, champ. Wilson saying, I've made out a qualifying 1 there. And so I think Serious Mushroom was a victim of Codemasters. A lovely coding there, isn't it? So, because that's why they're called Codemasters, aren't they? Welsh Marnada coming out of the pits now, of course. I think she'll be quite happy with these wet conditions there. Being from Wales, of course, and it's usually very rainy over there, isn't it? Very much so is that Welsh Marnada coming out of the pits, so she's gone the soft tyres straight from the get-go. So it's going to be, unfortunately, it's going to be, I think it's going to be, it's the first lap in, and it's going to be done and dusted, I think, in this qualifying session, which means you're going to have 10 minutes of me nattering on them, which is not very good, is it? Not very good indeed then. Cryptic Alibi saying they can't handle the young Tommy. No, they can't. And it's young Tommy is done a very good job there to get out of qualifying 1 good 17. All I'm going to say is all of you not driving this could be a banging race then. Dylan saying it's going to rain. It's raining already. Gurman is telling Curly to hurry up then. He's got a shift there. Cryptic Alibi reckons it's going to be Becca for P1 then in this qualifying 2 session. Look, the raindrops already falling down then. This could be all or nothing then. Is it going to be dry enough for the slick tires to get grip then? That's a lot of rain. We are high up in the clouds here in Austria, aren't we? So of course the weather does rolling quite quicker than other places around the world that we go to in ALR, but here tonight then we're in Austria. Then out of the pits now comes, I think that is Curly, and he's out very late with just already 2 minutes on the clock. Everyone is out on circuit. This is exactly what I want. Young Tommy is the last of the cars to come out, and I think he might be on the back foot here. Maldonado then is going straight on the soft tires. We're going to have another upset, I think then. Cardboy saying good luck to Tommy, to Troy, TK and AlphaTauri as Maldonado going up into turn 1 at 16-1 in the first sector then. Brake disc glowing as well. DRS is still enabled then, of course. When the rain gets too heavy, DRS will be disabled for safety reasons, of course. So that is another half a second to a second that you lose as well. Finger in the air kind of guessing, because I don't really know the exact amount there, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Maldonado is in the second part of the lap as well. She's going to be the first driver to put a time in as well. There's a Mercedes behind us at the moment. I think it's Gamer. Is it Gamer? It's not Gamer. It's the other Mercedes. And so I think I tried for a 50-50 chance there and I got it wrong. Standard stuff there. Maldonado and coming over the crest of the hill as well. And he's now flying into turn number 8. Now into turn number 9. Let's see what she can do then across the line. And Maldonado then should be safe for this time then. A 5-3, a 5-1 for Slayer then. This is the time's going to be tumbling far from the fours. Troy in the fours as well. We got Ayrton in 6th position at the moment, and Bradfield is in 5th, Nigel is in 7th position, Gordo's down to 9th, and Gamer is in 7th position at the moment. And goodness me, there's a Red Bull off the circuit. There's Steve's off, the Red Bull is off the course. Oh goodness me. And Payne's head is in the medium tires, flying through the final quarter as well, and Payne's up to the line. Payne's is 10 fast, and he's just about through. Curly has just started off as well. Steve is had some major issues there, but young Tommy is also out on the circle as well. So we got McLaren who's venturing to to a different part of the circuit there. On board with Tommy as well. Here is Tommy, and there's Curly just in front of us. And I think that's Curly. It is Curly. On board with Curly. That is this might be who is going to be the last driver to get through in the qualifying free. Gordo in pain still there at the moment, and it's a 6 that Curly needs to find in this time. Then is it a 6? I think it is a 6, but it's not good enough for you. It's good enough for young Tommy, who is through and into a qualifying free. And I think that Curly being a bit slow coming out of the box there might have cost himself a chance to get into qualifying free there, unfortunately. And that is the nature of Austria, isn't it? Because there just seems to always be rain in this region, doesn't there? Farf is going to end his third qualifying session of ALR Silver on top of the standings then for qualifying too. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Of course, that's if the rain of course doesn't dry up then, as Farf is just cruising back into the pits as well. And that's a very good point now from Cartboy, because TK is not in the session now. As we had this last night where it took me a very long time to work out who was not in the session. Well, tonight, luckily, Cartboy's much more on it than I am. But yeah, that's a very good point. TK is not in this session then. So what is going on with TK? And that is not good, is it? Because we wanted 15 cars out there. Well, we've got 14, and the rain is getting heavier now. Then I think that we are not far away from from having DRS disabled them, which will all but end anyone's hopes of getting through in the qualifying free. We just got on watching the Red Bull now as Steve then, as Steve is making a last gasp effort. He's looking good in qualifying one, but the rain has really not helped any of the Red Bulls. It's really tired. It's gone on Gordo's car. Go on, Paynes, do it for Team Williams there. I am not going to be biased, but yes, come on, Paynes, get into qualifying free. We've got Wilson at the moment, who is on the medium tires at the moment, and as Wilson saying that he took me out, and as Gordo saying that was horrific. The traffic was unreal. Serious motion. Paynes might get pole, but his TT time is rapid. I hear then Gordo saying I should have went out on the softs, but hey, he is still in qualifying free at the moment, and Gordo is now I think that might not change at the moment, but we're going to watch Wilson as he's coming across the line now, and we got 4 moments going. Yes, and Serious Russian can't get pole if I'm not in qualifying free. As Serious Russian now, I think it's just noticed that Payne's out at the moment, but Payne's is on the soft tires again. Yellow flag in the pit lane as well. A couple of drivers are retired already. Gamers retired, and so is Farf as well. That's a risky thing to do, I think, because look, there are clouds all around them, but if it stops raining now, it is hot enough out there, I think, for the track to dry up, because the track is not saturated just yet, so there still might be a chance that this rain stops and Steve's retired from the session then, and he is going to be he's a very unhappy chappy there, isn't he? Nigel is out there to defend his position there, but Steve is down in 14th position, unfortunately, and that is Steve going to be starting 14th on the grid then. As a cryptic alibi is just said, who are the Haas drivers here? It's Gordo and Billet. Billet down in 18th position there, whilst Gordo is currently snuck through into the top 10 just at the moment. Then we got Wilson there, who is just coming into turn 9 as well. Oh, he's invalidated his time now, cutting the corner a bit too harshly there. And Wilson there coming across the line, and that wasn't good enough anyway. Paynes is back out on circuit as well. And Bill Tomato, former ALR driver as well. Good evening, Sean. Hello, Matt. I hope you're having a lovely evening on this Monday afternoon. Serious Russian saying my laptop is behind, and as Gamer saying it's too wet to go faster now for Gamer, so that's why he's retired then. But I'm just wondering if that might be a false storm. It probably isn't though, because he has much more weather information than me, and even if I had to say weather information is Gamer, I still wouldn't be able to figure it out. But that's because I'm quite slow. Then I'm basically like a slug really. I was already a little bit drifted in the last sector from Gamer then, so yeah, the track was already sounding a bit too wet then from Gamer's point of view then, so he's feeling safe then. Paynes, and we're on board with Paynes now then, but look at all the weather, look all the water streaming off of the cockpit here of the Williams car. This might be and Paynes now figures backing off as well. 7 minutes ago in this qualifying session. I don't think time's the enemy here though, it's Mother Nature that's the enemy now for these drivers then. Paynes is going for it, and it's going to be all or nothing now for Paynes coming across the line. He's done a 9 there. Curly Curly is 3/10 of second down the first sector. Wilson's abandoned his time and coming the pit saying, "Was Curly? Can Curly muster up? He needs to find a 6-2 in this sector. In this lap time. He can't find it at the moment. He's 2 seconds down at the moment now. Curly is he is going to. What's he going to do? Has he got enough in his arsenal there to sum up anything to get himself into qualifying free? And I don't think that's unfortunately. I don't think that's the case. As he comes into the pits and he is retired. Not retired from the session. Wilson's retired from the session. It's an old Red Bull row 7 there. Red Bull going to be a bit disappointed at that. That was very dark for me, but it worked then. Yeah, Gordo then, I think, I got to say, fortune does favour the brave, doesn't it? And Gordo has got through on the medium tyres, and that's all that matters, really. Of course, it's hero and zero stuffs, isn't it? As Martin Brundle says, and you have to be on the right tyre at the right time, don't you? And, of course, especially in these weather conditions. And, fortunately, the drivers have got out there first, got their lap in. Absolutely beautiful stuff. That's why they're through into qualifying free. Good stuff indeed. Here's Paynes then. He is going to continue. No, he's in the pits as well. Paynes is, and I think that's a big blow for Paynes because I think he was on my he was top of my list then to maybe have a chance for pole position today. Well, I need to scratch that name off, don't I? Unfortunately for Paynes, he is in the pits. He is out of qualifying. He'll be 11th from the grid then. Whether that I think Lost Souls started 11th last night, didn't he? He had a cracking race, Lost Souls did. So Paynes might be hoping for some inspiration there from the Red Bull driver of Lost Souls. But Paynes, unfortunately, is on the dolly wheels. He is out of qualifying, and he is now being wheeled back into the Williams garage. Both Williamses are out then by the end of qualifying too, which I'm absolutely surprised by because I didn't expect that one iota. Gordo is saying that I might try and do some laps on the Inters maybe then. The DRS, I don't think has been disabled just yet, has it? If I'm not very much mistaken then. But that is a lot of rain coming down from the skies here in Spielberg, isn't it? I think that I'm wondering. I think it's too wet for the dry tires now. So intermediates might. And there it is. The DRS has been disabled. I think it is definitely time for the intermediate tires and for qualifying free. I love it. So it's good stuff indeed. And so I'm wondering who has been practicing in the wet. I got to say, this is one of the tracks that you kind of need to practice on the wet tires, don't you? Because as a Curly is doing this is a very smart thing from Curly because yes, he may not improve he may not find 3/10 of a second over Gordo, but there is rain in the race as well, isn't it? So this is going to be just an experimentation now from Curly, isn't it? Because he wants to see what the track conditions are like on the intermediate tyres, and this is going to be crucial information in the race, isn't it? So the likes of drivers that hasn't gone on the intermediate tyres, then they're going to be going into the unknown come the race, aren't they? So Curly is going to have an advantage then with 4 minutes to go. Then he's going to use this as practice time indeed. Then, and why not? Then why not? Because of course, every advantage you can have in league racing is going to be a crucial one, isn't it? You need to take every advantage, every opportunity you can, whether that's in life or in ALR. Good stuff indeed then. Weather Watcher for me was good then. Sarah Smith saying can't hurt Gordo in terms of going on the intermediate tyres then as well. Yeah, that's exactly what Curly's doing at the moment. And look at this, and it's how he's going around the circuit and very gingerly as well. Gordo's also ventured out onto the circuit as well with 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session then. So DRS has now been disabled then, so we are in intermediate territory. The question is going on my mind now is this rain going to stop for qualifying free, or is this in for the afternoon? If it is, then who is going to be on the who's going to be happy with these weather conditions ending? So who is in the top 10 out here, Ross? And let's take a look at that first, shall we? We've got Farf, who's through. First session he's qualified, topped in a very long time, Farf has said. First time he's ever topped a time in a silver session. Good stuff indeed there for Farf. Troy is also through. Jake the Slayer with a damaged finger up in the third position. A magnificent Goliath effort there from Jake the Slayer. Fourth position is Maldonado, but Bradfield is fifth. Ayrton in sixth. Gamer 7th. Young Tommy 8th. 9th is Nigel. 10th is Gordo. Out of those names then, who do you think then springs to mind then of who is going to be happy on the wet weather conditions? Oh, I got to say, I'm pretty rubbish when it comes to drivers and how they feel in the wet weather conditions. I think that one instance that springs to mind is Ayrton back in the Singapore Grand Prix. Remember, he called those tyres absolutely to precision there. I think he went on the full wet tyres, didn't he, at the beginning of the race there? Absolutely magnificent performance there. He just shot off like a skyrocket, didn't he? Really good stuff indeed there for Ayrton. I think that wasn't a wet qualifying as well in Singapore, if I'm not very much mistaken. I think it was indeed then. Of course, another driver that would have been happy with these wet weather conditions, I think, would have been Diashi. Diashi is a part of is of course there. Unfortunately, took a step backwards, hasn't he, Diashi? But I think in these wet weather conditions today, I think Diashi would have absolutely thrived in these conditions there. So that's a bit of a shame now for Diashi. It really is indeed. Yeah, so I've got to say, I haven't really answered your question at all, really, have I? But there we go. The future about live sports, we can find out then in the qualifying session, which qualifying 3 is coming up in just a jiffy as well. Remember, the 1998 qualifying session around here was affected by very heavy rain there. There was Giancarlo Fisichella that took his pole position. Well, I don't think it was his maiden pole position, was it? I think it was, wasn't it? Goodness me, and that just shows my trivia of Formula 1's a bit rusted. Well, I might have to get out the old Formula 1 yearly annuals, haven't I, really? Yeah, Fisichella then took pole position in for the Benetton in 1998 in a great wet weather session that was. Of course, the action didn't really take place till the last 20 minutes or so, was it? Because the teams were just waiting to see if the rain was going to abate, but unfortunately it didn't, did it? They was trying to play cat and mouse with the weather gods, and unfortunately it didn't pay off, did it? For those teams on that day. And remember, you only get 12 laps back then as well. You had an hour-long qualifying session. You had 12 laps there, and I think you only had there's Payne's there, full opposite lock there. Oh goodness me, that's not a place where you would expect to be turning a left there, was it? Goodness me. Of course, that is where Bottas started off his lawnmowing company, wasn't it, back in 2020. Payne's there is I think just having a bit of fun there. This is the last time I'm going to be seeing Payne's in this qualifying session tonight, and before he comes back into the garage. Well, Gordo's just said the rain is clear in 10 minutes. So every time I look up, Payne's is having a different adventure. Fantastic. I'm loving this, and it's a great exhibition there, isn't it? From the man who won in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix a couple of races ago there. Payne's he's come back to silver, an absolute bang, hasn't he, the Williams driver? That's a magnificent performance indeed then. And of course, being the Williams driver that I am these days, and of course I'm going to be supporting Payne's because of the joint constructors then. And my loyalties now lie with the famous Williams racing team. And Payne's then is not going to improve here, is he? But of course, then this is exploratory laps that Curly, Gordo, and Payne's have done. Then this is crucial in the race, isn't it? So it's crucial in development, I would say. Vintage said, good evening, Vintage. We've also got, hopefully we'll see qualifying 3 today, laugh out loud. Yes, we didn't see it last night, did we? But that's because Farf was, I think his bacon was burning. That's why he stopped it early. Bought time, I hit the big time there for Farf. He's loving it, isn't he? Nice job, Farf, from Serious Mushroom as well. Some big names out of qualifying 1 from Troy. Oh my goodness me, I've just looked up there, and Payne's is in the wall. He's in the barrier, and he is furious. Look at that then. Oh goodness me, that's a very extreme version of Jazz Hands there, isn't it? There are some big names out of qualifying 1, big names out of qualifying 2 as well, big names in qualifying 3. There isn't a midfield in silver these days, is there? Let's take a look to see who's out of qualifying, shall we? Steve and Wilson is going to be forming row 7 of the Austrian Grand Prix. Red Bull going to be a bit disappointed with that then. Curly in 12th position, Payne's in 11th position then. In the top 10 we have Gordo, Nigel and Gamer all on the medium tyres. And that is going to be crucial, I think, for the Grand Prix, isn't it? Because we do have rain afoot, don't we? And that's going to be coming later on in the race as well. Dylan saying Payne's getting his work out before the race. And yes, indeed, he is. Said as Liam saying that's going to be an ALR moment. Those jazz hands there, it really was, and I love a bit of jazz hands. I haven't said that in a very long time, and that is a lot of rain coming from the sky now, isn't it? So we have heard, though, from the grapevine, my Ted Krawick's down the pit lane, that the rain will be clearing up in 10 minutes then. Is it worth to get out there and do a banker knowing that the rain is going to ease off, or is it good to get in a banker time anyway? They've got 4 sets of intermediate tyres, haven't they? So they could probably go out there in a set of run then before coming back in the pits. Then the laps are slightly longer in these wet weather conditions then, but still the lap is so short anyway. Well, Troy is not even thinking about the intermediate tyres at the moment. He is going straight onto those soft tyres there. Out of the pits now comes Bradfield. Also out of the pit lane is Ayrton as well. We've got Gordo staying at the moment. Look at these Kia cars coming out now. We've got Farfed, who's the first man on the track. He was also first in qualifying too as well. Great stuff indeed there for Farf. Let's see him back at the big top, as he said then, of course, a former Grand Prix winner. He won an ALR Gold 3 times, didn't he, Farf did? But He hasn't won in a very long time, has he, Favre? I think in those space, those run, he won those 3 Grand Prix, 3 in a row, didn't he? Because Favre won in Abu Dhabi at the back end of season 1, won in Australia the season 2 opener, and then won in Bahrain in season 3. It was an absolutely incredible start to Favre's season 2 campaign, but unfortunately it fizzled out, didn't it? He had he was very unlucky in China, if I very much recall them, because the safety car, someone slowed quite rapidly down under the safety car and he damaged his wing. Otherwise he would have been at least on for, I think he got 4th that day, and he would have been on would have probably have been 1st or 2nd in that Grand Prix as well for Favre. But we're on board with him now. Then he is in silver, isn't it? So it's very unusual to commentate on a gold race without Favre. Favre is it's got a lot of Grand Prix starts. I haven't got my gold spreadsheet up because I get confused if I have more than one thing up in front of me. Far out the far turn then as well. So the rain is still light then. The intermediate tires can steer clear of this water. You just got to stay within tram lines here. Looking at the darker patch then of the race circuit. That's where you got to stay in. Then you do not want to be on the shiny parts of the circuit. Otherwise you will be off. And Farfare is on the shiny part of the circuit then. So he doesn't care what part of the circuit he's on. Just he gets a good time in as he comes into turn 2 as well. I love this shot. It's a signature shot here of Red Bull Ring, isn't it? Yellow flag in sector 3. We'll leave them to be for now. Farfare accelerating out, then coming down into turn 3 in the Racing Point. We already mentioned that this will be Renault's last season in ALR. It'll also be the last season for Racing Point as well, before they transform into the Aston Martin, which I'm sure a lot of drivers will be fighting over for next season. They really would indeed. And that beautiful green car, Cole said. I also like the Alpine car as well. So Renault will also, Renault is also transforming into more of their sports brand, didn't they? Far from who's now coming over the crest of the hill. Then we got a McLaren behind him. I think it's Bradfield. Once again, Bradfield's got such a good foot, hasn't he, in qualifying? He just needs to get it sorted in the race and bounce. I thought Bradfield is. He's had a good run of points, and the last 4 races he has scored points, and Farf has gone fast. He's done a 12-0 to start us off. Bradfield 4/10 of a second away from Farf and then Farf is the benchmark here. Ayrton's done a 13 now, a second back from Farf at the moment. Then Gordo is snuck into a 3rd position and just in front of Ayrton. What about the Mercedes driver? Gamer's gone into second fast. He's 2/10 of a second away from Farf, and Welsh Arnaldo has just gone into 12th position as well. What about our teammate Troy? Troy out of the final turn as well. Look at that, there's a lot of drifting then. And I think that the clouds are starting to go in. Troy, even with a mistake, is on pole position. My goodness me, this man is mighty. Tommy in 7th position. And what about Nigel as well? Nigel out of the final turn then. Let's see what he can do then. Nigel out of the final turn then. And here he comes across the line. He is 4th fastest at the moment in the Ferrari. Lovely stuff indeed then. Jake, the stairs, going to have to go for a second bite of the chair as well. We're on board, Jake. The rain is easing off now. The rain is easing off, and as you can see, it's not as heavy as it was about 5 minutes ago. And coming up into turn 1 there. So let's see what Slayer can do. Remember, he is racing with a broken, well, not broken finger, but a very delicate finger, isn't he? Slayer is, as he comes up into turn number 2 as well. Breaking down to 50 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, touching the 35 miles an hour before getting on the power again then, and accelerating away. Look at that in the back. There's so much torque on these McLarens, on these Formula 1 cars these days. I know who is that who's gone in second position. That Gamer has had a much better time than in that second position there, and at less than 500 a second away so far. Impressive times indeed, isn't it? Here's Slayer on the coming into the middle part of the lap as well then, before dropping down, and we're on board with Slayer as he's trying to get the car around there. He's gone purple in the second section. That's a very good time indeed then. And he accelerating away as Slayer then. I'm not sure if I just looked up because I was looking down for the comments. Look at the heat. He said that is the rain evaporating back into the sky where it came from. So you can see then the water's already dissipating back up into the sky. Here's Slayer then. He comes out of the final turn. Slayer goes 9th fastest in the Mercedes. And Gordo is back in the pits at the moment then. Troy is 7,700 seconds down. Then Gamer's invalidated his time then. And Nigel's gone into 3rd fastest moment, and Farf has found 2/10 of a second in the Racing Point. He's gone wide, but he's still on the circuit. Good 17th there for Farf. Over the line, Farf comes, and he is 2nd fastest. Farf is. He is loving it today, Farf. What about Bradfield? Coming up to the line, Bradfield is 6th fastest. Ayrton there is also improving his times. Oh, he's back in the 9th position. Ayrton is. He's found half a second. Maldonado is 600 up in the second intermediate split time, and she's out of the final turn. Improves a 10th a second, back up into 8th fastest. And then now then, as the track conditions are getting better and better all the time, Troy is invalidated his time then, on board with the championship leader, out of the final turn then, 5 minutes ago in this session, and there's a couple of drivers in the pits, and Farfus half a second down, Gamer's back in the pits, and Nigel, I think he's feathering in the pits, right, taking more of a tighter line. Tommy is up in the 5th position, and then Nigel's back in the pits, at the moment then, time then. And the Slayer 3/10 a second up. I know, I think the Slayer had a bit of a so-so middle sector last time around then, but this time I feel that's a lot better for the Mercedes driver. Out of the final turn then, and the Slayer goes into 4 fastest, a whisker behind his teammate. Great time indeed then for the Mercedes drivers. They're 3rd and 4th and they're on the 2nd row of the grid at the moment. Farfen is a second slower, so he is abandoning his time code in the pits. And what about Bradfield? Bradfield is doing a bit of cross country now. He is also in the pits as well, as is Ayrton, also in the pits then. Welsh Maldonado then, I didn't see a second intermediate split time for Welsh Maldonado, 5 minutes to go in the session then, and she is also in the pits as well. Oh goodness me, I think that was a bit of pollination there, wasn't it? Young Tommy is from the 10th for a second in the second sector, 2 tenths a second in the first sector for young Tommy, and coming up the hill as well. Going up the hill then, and now is he going to abandon his time? Is he going to come in the pits? We've got Slayer also on circuit as well. Tommy is staying out with a 4 3/4 minutes to go then. It's a short circuit, isn't it? He's run wide then, but he's still within track limits. That's a great corner there from Tommy. Tommy's on fastest. He's on pole position there by a 10th of a second there. He is judged the conditions to absolute perfection. The question is now, can he get back into the pits there? Go on to a set of soft tyres. I'm going for pole position then. In the moment, he's going to be a marked man now, though, isn't he, young Tommy is as of course all the drivers are now going to be gunning for that 11.7, and it does depend on how quickly the track dries up then. And once again, then we have summer rains here in Austria, don't we, where we have a bit of a deluge and then it clears up, doesn't it? And that's exactly what's happening here tonight then, with 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Sarah Smash, and Tommy is killing the game then. Young Tommy, full president there from a cryptic alibi. I'm going to say might be last across the line to get pole position, just like Heinz-Harald Frentzen did in the European Grand Prix 1999. That's one of my famous qualifying, favorite qualifyings ever. Seriously, saying Brian is going to get a very interesting indeed. Hashtag Tommy for president. Gordo saying Soft's officially the fastest tire there from Gordo as well. Yes, so Gordo is giving me very vital information from the Delta then, and of course says, hey, that's why it pays to have a good rapport with the drivers, isn't it? Because I look very smart now, and so he's now into the pits. Here comes young Tommy. DRS has now been enabled. You've seen that race control message down in the bottom corner, and it is indeed now enabled. And 3 minutes to go, I should say, as the Ferrari driver is now just being put on the dolly wheels and wheeled back in. Then I gotta say, one thing I would like to see about this game is on a race on a damp day like this, it'd be good not to go in the pits there, wouldn't it? Where you can just go on the pits there, do a pit stop race kind of thing in qualifying, where you can just change onto the soft tyres. I think that'll be good, wouldn't it? But there you go, that's just me. Gordo turns into Ted Kravitz. He is for tonight then. Usually I've Jonathan Cox is my Ted Kravitz in gold then, and Gordo's my Ted Kravitz in silver as well. And I would like someone to be my Ted Kravitz in bronze as well, because I'm definitely going to need it, because I have no idea what I do normally anyway. Out of the pits there comes Slayer, and let's see what I can do. 2.5 minutes ago then, so I think the Slayer may have filled up slightly here then, so he might be going for a couple of laps around here, as I had a bit of vertigo then, and almost fell off me perch. So Slayer out of the pits. Now look at that then, it's a beautiful day now. It's like, well, just don't look that way anyway. If we look that way, look at that, that's a much better sky, isn't it? Albeit, having said that, it's very overcast, isn't it, around the Spielberg. We've got Ferrari trundling down the pit lane as well. Slayer has got all the track on his own, hasn't he? I think this might be a very important manoeuvre here from Slayer, because he can really find the track conditions, can he? I know this is, as I say, knowledge is king, isn't it? Knowledge is key, and I think that's also a famous game on the PlayStation 4 as well, and I think I've won a game on that, so that's why I bring it up. But of course, there is in more serious information format. Slayer, the more knowledge he gets on the dry circuit, the better his time's going to be, surely, because yes, they did qualify. They start qualifying qualifying in the dry, but the track is a living thing. It's going to be completely different now because the rain has washed the Pirelli tyre away, hasn't it? The Pirelli rubber away, so they're going to really have to find their tyres then on their quick lap then. So Slayer gets 2 runs today, gets 2 bites of the cherry. Slayer does that, but he does the only downside about this is he will have to carry extra fuel, and his tyres will not be at a premium when he's going for his second time lap as well. Bradfield then is just staying on the right hand side of the circuit then. Let's go we're on board with Slayer then, as he is now powering up then into the to the right-hander as well, as Cryptic Alibi is raised to win bronze 2021. Then I gotta say that's a very that's very humorous of you. We've also got Gordon saying I couldn't write a notebook for my life, but I wouldn't have left until like 1:45 to be honest. From Cryptic Alibi, as Gordo is going off the circuit there. We've got a couple of cars in front of us, then, so I think that Cryptic Alibi doesn't think that Slayer going for 2 runs here is going to be amount to much. He is 3 seconds up in the second split time. There's a Renault in front of us. Is that Renault going to be a problem then? Nope, Troy just ferries in front of us. That's a very gentlemanly thing to do for Troy. I personally would have stepped them down the race alive, but that's why I'm a very bad racer. Slayer out of the final turn, and let's see what he can do then. Out of the final part, of course, and then Slayer will be fastest. He is fastest at this moment in time. There's the pit boards that are being hung out there. Young Tommy is 3 seconds up in the second split time. Farf is just in front of us. We got a Renault of Washmar now that comes across the line, and I think she has just made it there. I'm far. Oh, Young Tommy's invalidated. Oh, that's a crucial part of this qualifying session. And Young Tommy is going to be kicking himself. Farf is going to be kicking himself as well. He has missed the timing beam. Farf has. Oh goodness me! And that's a own goal for Farf. That's a major own goal for Farf. Oh goodness me! And he was very much in the thick of things tonight. And he is out of qualifying. That's a bit of a shocker there for Farf, isn't it? The former Grand Prix winner. Here's Gamer, a 3-time Grand Prix winner for silver. Flicking into 8, flicking into 9. So I got to hold on to the Celio Pants there out of the final turn. And DRS and Gamer is on pole position. Ayrton is on pole position there. A 10th of a second in front of Gamer. Here comes Nigel. He's now on pole position as well. Oh, incredible stuff indeed. Then Slayer 2-time runs in, and he's on second. He's second, and Bradfield's invalidated this time. That's crucial. Troy coming to line. Troy's on pole position. Gordo's in full position as well. Welshman is invalidated time. Oh goodness me! And here's Troy, who is on pole position when all is said and done. And that's his 3rd pole position of his career here in silver. Fantastic stuff indeed. And that was absolutely mega stuff indeed, wasn't it? Congratulations to Troy. His 3rd pole position of the season. And I think that's also his 3rd pole position of his career as well. There is the final classification from qualifying at number 3. And as we go in, as we're taking a look then into qualifying 3, here it is then. So only 6 drivers have qualified on the soft tyres there. Troy is on pole position by 5 seconds from Nigel in second there. Slayer in 3rd position, Gordo 4th, Ayrton in 5th then, and Gamer in 6th position. And everyone else didn't qualify on the soft tyres because they had a mishap, didn't they? It was the ultimate pressure cooker, wasn't it? As we get going then into the start of the Grand Prix as well. Serious Mushroom saying 1:45 would be in what? Hang on, Serious Mushroom, I've got to lean over a minute. We've got Cryptic Alibi saying that no, Tommy, every time Rage says pole position, I'm taking a shot then. Oh goodness me, you're going to be drunk as a skunk. We've also got Gordo saying very disappointed. Formula Moments is very happy with that. A bad lap bar take 4th, and Dylan saying that's my bingo card all filled up then. Serious Mushroom, I'll be drunk as Bradfield as well. Gamer saying I went out too early then, as Nigel is whooping at me. Fantastic stuff. Tommy would have stuck there either way. Time wasn't good enough. And look at that then, we've got a night and day contrast, haven't we, from where it was very dull and overcast and raining to a beautiful day out there in the Stylian Mountains, and absolutely lovely, gorgeous scenery here tonight. Brilliant stuff indeed. Dylan saying good luck all, and now let's just take a look at the grid, shall we, from front to back. And this is a cracking grid, isn't it? If you're going to line them up from front to back, this is exactly how you would do it as well. Let's go for the grid, shall we? 36 laps around the Grand Prix. We got a mix of soft, medium, and hard tires. All three compounds are being used. Red Bull's Justin Wilson. Red Bull's Wilson there is on the hard tires, and also we got TK on the hard tire as well. Soft tires, and for most of the top 10, which is Troy, Slayer, Ayrton, Young Tommy, Favre, Bradfield, then Curly on the soft tires outside the top 10, along with Steve, and Welsh Maldonado is down in 14th position. Did show a 5-place grid penalty. That's really weird why Maldonado's dropped down to 14th. I don't think have I missed something there? Please shout at me, or if I have. We'll talk about that in a minute, shall we? Troy's on pole position, then Nigel's alongside him on row 1. That's a cracking row 1, isn't it? Nigel, the first ever ALR world champion in gold. Then Troy on the march to be the third silver world champion. Jake the Slayer in third position. Great time for Slayer. His best qualifying performance of his silver career. Gordo in fourth. Ayrton in a fantastic fifth. Gamer in sixth position. Very unhappy with that. Young Tommy right in the thick of it as well in seventh. Favre down in eighth position. He might be disappointed. That Bradfield, same, maybe disappointing that ninth, and Payne's in 10th position there. Curly in 11th position, he'd be happy with that. I think he saw him. Why retires he wanted to. Wilson 12th position with Steve in 13th. Welsh Maldonado for some reason down in 14th position there. Major problems indeed. As Dylan saying, I think she got a 5-place grid penalty. I thought if she did, then wouldn't she have started? I don't know actually. Well, Maldonado in 15th. BP is in 16th position there. And Potato 16th, and Billet 17th, and Mushroom in 18th, Baz in 19th, and TK is 20th on the grid there. He's also been moved back 5 positions on the grid as well. On board with Troy as well, so I'll quickly get the proper old telemetry up as well then, and let's go then, and look at those red lights are coming on then. Here they go then. This is the start of the Grand Prix. We're on board with Troy as well then. The lights are up, but once again no one's up next. I'm waiting for those lights. There they are then. The refs are on then, and let's go. We're going to be going here in Austria, and the Grand Prix is go, and it's Troy Goose going very nicely. Did the McLarens, both McLarens already side by side, then Gordo, and then look at this. Ayrton's going to be a sandwich to AlphaTauri there. He's in fifth position still, and oh, look at this then, and Ayrton is now sneaking in the middle, then Gordo's in fourth. This is a great start for Gordo on the medium tires as well, as they are snaking up into a turn number, oh my goodness me, that racing point has come out of nowhere. That's Farfa sticking his nose in there. Young Tommy is now in sixth position as well. We've got a drag race. Ayrton is side by side with Slayer. Slayer's having an appalling start, and Farfa's now got up in his sixth position as well. Ayrton's up in the third. Then he's run Gordo wide. Then Ayrton has moved from up in the third position. Magnificent tire start out from Ayrton. Slayer is in fourth position there. Gordo down into fifth position there. Seventh position is young Tommy. Eighth position is Curly. Gamers dropped down 3 positions. The championship protagonist is having an appalling start, and Payne's in 10th position as well. He's held station in the Williams there. Bradfield dropping down to 11th position as well. Then say, oh my goodness me, who's that? That's Curly there. Having a look on the inside as well. That one complete. The gap is 1.3 seconds already. Troy's had a fast on the race, and Curly is looking very aggressive, and right into the rear wing of the Ferrari then, and young Tommy there is defending his position there. Look at that. I love that shot. Look at that. That's amazing, isn't it? Oh my word then. And Curly there is trying to get on V's on the soft tires, of course, isn't he? He's out right underneath the rear wing of young Tommy, and look at this, and we got a car in the pits. Welsh Maldonado in the pits, and up the inside. Oh, Curly there straight into the side of Favre, and somehow they've kept it in the right direction as well. Magnificent. And oh goodness me, what's going on there? And it's Payne's and Gamer's dropping down the order. There's Gamer's having some major issues. He's on the medium tires, of course. I don't think there's damage on the Mercedes, and that Red Bull then coming in from a mile away there. Wow, that was Steve then, as Steve has got is apparently minus. Oh my goodness me, Gordo's dropping back as well in sixth position. There is Gamer dropping down to 11th position at the moment. He's had the pole and start here in Austria, and he is struggling at this stage of the stage of proceedings, isn't he? He's right underneath the rear wing then. Is just going back to this battle here. Gordo is another driver that's really struggling at the moment then, and he is now down into sixth position, and it's lap 2 completed, and we're on lap 3 of the Grand Prix. This is flying, isn't it? No safety cars this time around then, and the beautiful sunshine. DRS has now been enabled then. Welsh Maldonado, the only driver to come in the pits, unfortunately Oh, Curry taking liberties there into turn one. Goodness gracious me. And now then he's right underneath the slipstream. So look at this. And then Gordo, Sir Curly. And now we've got young Tommy back as well. What is going on here? Oh my goodness me. It's Steve. It's Wilson. There's Baz. Baz is on the inside. He's steering up the inside. And how did he slow that car down? That is unreal. These drivers are superhuman, aren't they? Brad Fiddle's now in the 9th position as well. He has got past Payne. I can't keep up with you guys. You're too fast for me. And I've got no hope in bronze either. And look at this thing. Gamer is now, he's been forced out wide. He's on the grass. He's on the grass. BP is up into 11th position then. It's absolute anarchy in the opening stages here in Austria. And BP is now in the 11th position then. Gamer down into 12th position in the Mercedes. Absolutely fantastic start. A 3-second penalty for Curly. We see him taking liberties at the turn one corner, didn't we? And now, unfortunately, he's got another penalty. No, that's his first penalty. Ayrton is now 4 tenths of a second away. Ayrton's on a great start to the Grand Prix at the moment. All over the back of the former ALR world champion Nigel. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then into the pits comes Steve. He's got damage there, Steve has said, and that is not a good start there for Steve, is it? So as we hopefully it'll calm down now. So big winners, and Curly's up and oh my goodness me. And look, Ayrton's over the second position. Ayrton is up in the second there. And look at how cool the closing speeds around here. It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? Ayrton's up 3 positions there. Goodness me. Absolutely incredible stuff there from Ayrton. He's had a magnificent start to the Grand Prix. But Nigel's coming back, and Nigel's going to go on the inside down into turn 3. Ayrton's gone wide, and he's going to have to be worried about a Slayer behind him. Ayrton is still in a third position. And then Jake the Slayer is in 4th, and Farf is in a 5th position there. Baz and Wilson, and we've got New Potato as well. Well, there's 3 cars there. There they are, and they're emerging from from out of turn 3. Wilson back up in the 3rd position then. The biggest winners and losers then at the start of the Grand Prix is this. And we've got Curly up 4 positions there. Ayrton's up 2 positions as well. Farf has moved up 3 positions there. 4 positions as well for Baz. And Ayrton is Ayrton there just I think was it dropping back there, so I'm not sure. And now we've got DRS in the got the DRS, and look at this that's the queue of cars that go up into turn 1, and Baz also in the pits. Well, so we got Steve, Washman, and Baz will come in the pits. A gamer has lost the most positions who hasn't come in the pits just yet, unfortunately. Then Maldonado has gone to the hard tires. Baz on the medias, on the soft tires now. C has gone to the hard tires. Well, look at Slayer, and Slayer has gone on the outside then. And look at this, and he's trying to get a slingshot off Ayrton there. Ayrton is having none of it then, but look at this, Slayer is now on the outside going into turn 3. Then you can't do this around here, but Ayrton's giving him a squeeze. Ayrton has got the high ground. He's still in third position there. Good racing from both drivers. I'm loving this. And we got Farf, who is just sitting back, waiting in the wings, isn't he? Nigel there, I think, will be happy with this, because Ayrton there, it was important he got past Ayrton because he's on the medium tires, of course, and all these drivers are on the soft. And I think that Nigel there would try and maximise his soft run there and try and keep Troy into touch. But Salmon said that Troy is almost 6 seconds behind, because these guys have been squabbling so hard then, haven't they, on the opening stage of this Grand Prix. And we've got a bit of a conga line now, haven't we, behind Nigel, but Nigel at the moment now is keeping bay then Vert at the moment. So Troy is now leading by 6 seconds, and incredible stuff indeed there. Nigel in second position, then third position is Ayrton. Jake the Slayer, it's all over the back of Ayrton then. Look at this, he's weaving this way and that way. Ayrton will not be deterred, then he's gone on the outside then, so is Ayrton. Ayrton now, look at that, so he's braking later. Ayrton is, remember, Ayrton's got no traction control tonight then. He warned us in the comments. Well, he's in a magnificent performance so far, good stuff indeed then. But the Slayer is not going to be interesting, that is he. Slayer just wants to get that back on the podium, doesn't he? He had a good start in the is Ayrton there just going to the back of Nigel there? I'm not sure, but whatever the case may be, I think Nigel might have lost actually. So let's get a very sinister about it. And then BP has just got up into 12th position there. He is up into 11th, I should say, on the outside of Gamer, both on the medium tires. Gamer is having a nightmare Grand Prix at the moment. He's down into 12th position. Gamer is right in the midfield. That's not where he wants to be, is it? Where his championship protagonist Troy is walking away at the moment at the front there. 7 seconds the gap is at the moment. Incredible stuff, and coming through the complete lap 6 in here in this Grand Prix. It's absolutely magnificent stuff. Tommy is in the pits, and that's very early for a pit stop, I feel. I think that there must be damage on the Ferrari driver's car. Let's take a look then. And well, I would take a look, but I'm not even. I don't think it is. I think that's a strategy change there. And just watching Troy, and I've got to say, he looks like he's in the test session at the moment, isn't it? It's the drivers behind her absolutely fighting for their lives out there. Impressive stuff indeed, to say the least. Great stuff, man. I'm enjoying this one. And now then, Farfen is now going to be starting to put the pressure on Jake the Slayer. Then we've got Gordo on the medium tires as well. Remember, Gordo and Nigel are on the medium tires. We've got Paynes, BP, and Gamer and New Potato also on the medium tires. Wilson is on the hard tire. This is going to be crucial there on the race as well. Serious Mushroom's just got past TK and up into 16th position. Magnificent stuff indeed then. And Slayer then is all over the back once again. And this is cracking racing. This, oh goodness me, he's going on the outside. Oh my goodness me, this is incredible. Look at that, he's on the outside. Magnificent manoeuvre there from Wilson. He passes Ayrton, he moves up into third position. What a great manoeuvre there from Slayer. He is up into third position there. Ayrton has dropped down to fourth then, but magnificent overtake there. Oh, Ayrton's gone wide there on field, and he's going to lose a bit of momentum, and Farf is going to strike it whilst the Iron's hot then. And unfortunately, this is what you see a line races, don't you, where you lose one position and you start to lose a couple of positions then. And Farf is now up into, oh, he's a bang to Slayer there. Oh, and now there's contact. There's a bit of banging wheels, and Ayrton is going to say thank you, sir. Oh, I would say it's thank you, sir, but Ayrton is now on the inside. Farf is on the inside. Ayrton's on the outside. Oh, goodness me. And look at this. This is very much like Alex Albon and Hamilton and fifth one in, but luckily they're better racing, those two, because they haven't crashed. Ayrton is now a bit back up in the third position. He's gone deep, and Farf has gone up and underneath, back in the third position there. And oh, goodness me. So it's going to bit nip and tuck there, wasn't it, on the run up into turn number 2 there, isn't it? I got to say, Ayrton's had a fantastic race at the moment, isn't he? He's also sporting the lovely Ayrton Senna helmet as well, of course, the yellow. Oh, he's got a bit wide there, but he's still there. No penalties just yet as well. I'll get to the comments in a minute, guys. So I'm trying to brush away the sweat from my eyes. Goodness me, I need bigger eyebrows, I think, now, because there's sweat all over at the moment, which is not a very pretty picture, is it? Paynes has got a 3-second penalty for his troubles at the moment. And look at this. So far, has he got the pace to get up and pass Nigel? And that is going to be the look at this queue of cars. I'm absolutely loving this. We're already, oh my goodness me, we're already on lap 9 already. I can't believe it. Gordo then, can he now get up and pass and the Slayer on board then with Gordo? Of course, remember, he's on the medium tires. He doesn't want to risk anything at this stage. Oh goodness me, he's a risk more up there than not there. He's a lunge up the inside. Slayer is back through, and Slayer very calmly showing his experience there. Slayer is then another race in the divisions, and look at the background. It's BP and Gamer once again then around a ding dong of a battle here in 10th and 11th position. I'm loving that. And look in the background is Patel, and he had a nightmare qualifying, but he's now in 12th position there. Brilliant racing all around so far. Fantastic stuff. Going up the crest of the hill as well. Look at him, say flick it into a turn number 3-second penalty. Oh, Farf! He's off the circuit. Farf has gone off it. He was on a amazing race up until that point, and unfortunately Farf under the shadow of the trees, and he's doing a 8-point turn there. Farf is, can he kill himself? Is he coming in the pits? He is coming in the pits then. And was that a tyre issue, or was that a oh my goodness me, oh what's going on here? And look at this, and now they're all over the back of Slayer, and Slayer's got damage as we go up into the hairpin. Oh my goodness me, and look at this now, Curly is up in the 6th position, Page is up in the 5th, fantastic. And where is Slayer? There is Slayer and Page and Slayer. Where's Curly? There is Curly. We're on board there as well. Look at that, it's getting very fruitful out there. And BP is now in 8th position as well. Oh good, and now BP is going on the inside. He is on the inside then. Slayer's got damage then. Slayer has got major issues there with that Mercedes. That's Gamer's on the inside then. Gamer is just picked the pocket of Bradfield and Slayer. He's up into 8th position. That is crucial for Gamer's championship campaign and aspirations. And now is a Potato also in the 9th position there. You see some of the big hitters now are starting to come to fruition there into the pits. There comes there, he's got damage to his car, and Curly's got a 5-second penalty. Curly has said, and Curly coming in the pits, and he has got damage. Curly, that's a minute amount of damage there from Curly, but it's enough for him to come in the pits, and Slayer's in the pits as well. Oh goodness me, though that's two major names in this Grand Prix. Unfortunately, not out of this one per se. Yellow flag in 3 as there's a red ball off its sleeves, having some major issues there in the pit entry bar. Looks on the Red Bull, and he's dropped down to the back of the field. And who's that going up? Ayrton and Gordo are fighting for position there, and Ayrton has dropped down into fourth position, I think. Then Gordo's up in the third. Steve's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits, and Steve's out of the Grand Prix. Page is in fifth position now, and really very much squeezing Ayrton, isn't he? He is very much getting him a good squeeze, but Ayrton is going to have none of it, isn't he? Oh, magnificent race so far, is there? Oh, wow. But in the front, Troy's just having a serene race, isn't he? He's about 8 seconds away. Payne's almost, goodness me, giving Ayrton a bit of a helping hand through turn 9 then, or maybe a helping nose, as we go up into turn 1, as well as he runs slightly wide then. And we're coming up the hill now then into turn number 2 then. Look at Gordo just up front there, so Payne's going to have double dose of Slipstream and DRS then up the inside then. Track position then. Ayrton is trying to have a look then on the inside, but I think that the resistance might be futile, as yellow flag is outside Farf. It's had some issues there the second time around there for Farf. Having some major gremlins, unfortunately Farf is at the moment then. Now then Ayrton dropping down the order. And now we got Gamer, BP, and New Potato, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And how are those guys navigating themselves through this absolute carnage of a Grand Prix so far? Magnificent stuff indeed on board there with New Potato. We also got Serious Motion there, almost coming to the back of Bullet as well, who's in 12th position there. Bullet's done very well, actually, gone very much under the radar, hasn't he? Good stuff indeed. We've got a lot of penalties in this Grand Prix, and thus far it's been action-packed, hasn't it? Into the pits comes Troy, after 12 laps on the soft tires. I think it's only Troy, Ayrton and Bradfield all on their original soft tires, and there is the pit window. It's now open then, so Troy has come into the pits the first time for Askinen, so the man who's been serenely leading this Grand Prix. It's also got a lovely gap as well. When it falls into place for you, it really does fall into place, doesn't it? Good stuff indeed there for Troy, and now he's got a 4-second gap to himself in Wilson, which he's going to be absolutely loving then, because he can now, oh no, and no Potato then get on the power too much there. He's spun it around, and Potato, unfortunately, and that's crucial there, isn't it? And we've just seen a flash, a couple of penalties there just coming out in quick succession there. A New Potato then again on the power, a bit too heavy-handed there, or heavy-footed I should say, in the Grand Prix thus far. Baz has just dropped behind Curly, who's on new medium tires at the moment. On board with Gordo, who's on a cracking race in third position there. Ayrton there is on the soft tires. I think Ayrton wonder if he might be coming in the pits in the not too distant future. Remember, I think that didn't Emerson cut the pits around this lap yesterday? Perhaps, but he's in the pits now. Ayrton is on a fantastic start to the Grand Prix. Now can he keep it going? And so Gamer is up in the fourth position there. BP in fifth position there. Great stuff from these two drivers, isn't it? I've got to say, it wasn't looking a very good race, was it, for Gamer after the first couple of laps? But wow, but that just shows the experience, doesn't it? That is why he has got 3 Grand Prix wins to his name there. He's kept it cool, hasn't he? Where the pressure cooker is very much at a high. Great stuff indeed, Dennis. We're coming up into up to the top of the hill as well. Goodness me, we got a lot of viewers now. I think that they have heard the rumblings that Ayrton is really hitting the stratosphere here tonight, isn't he? I think one of Ayrton's best Grand Prix one of Ayrton's best Grand Prix opening in his ALR career thus far. Singapore, he was also fantastic as well, but here today he's been magnificent. So good stuff indeed there for Ayrton. Really good stuff, man. And of course I have to sing Ayrton's praise as well, because he designs what do they call them? JPEGs, that's it. There we go. But yes, of course, being very serious for the moment. Ayrton's been absolutely magnificent today. He really has indeed. Then as has Troy, as has Gamer and BP as well, and Gordo. There's been a lot of absolutely sensational drives up and down the field thus far. I'm counting my chickens before they hatch, which is standard stuff for me. But yeah, let's see what continues on this race. Troy is set to fast up the race, and as he is now starting to burn rubber. Hopefully not too much rubber, of course, though, because we got some issues there with Baz. Baz is cruising. Baz has got some major gremlins in that AlphaTauri. He's pulled off then to the side. What is going on? Oh, goodness me, he's come on right in front of Bradfield there. Baz has. He is in the pits then, and he's got damage. Oh, he's crashed into the pit wall there. Baz is out of the Grand Prix. It's a safety car here. Oh, goodness me. And it's a safety car here then. So, who is this going to play into the hands for now? Well, we're going to find out, shall we? And absolutely, Absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. So this is a good opportunity for me to take stock, read some comments, and try and calm myself down, really, because that was absolute anarchy, wasn't it? I can't even make heads or tails of what's gone on in this race so far. Magnificent stuff indeed, but what do you expect from Silver? That's why we put on the Monday, you see, because it really wakes everyone up for the week, doesn't it? And so who is going to come in the pits then? Let's take a look then. Nigel, is he coming in the pits then? He is in the pits. Everyone is streaming into the pits then. And BP isn't. He is staying out there, so BP is rolling the dice then. Oh no! Gamer's gone into the back of Gordo, I think, and yes, they're even under change the nose cone. This is not good at all for Gamer. That is a crucial blow in this Grand Prix. And so he's now just sorting himself out. TK has also stayed out on the hard tires as well. Bullet has stayed out. Nigel is coming out of the pits now. There is Nigel. Troy is in third position at the moment. Then where is Ayrton? That Ayrton was one of the early stoppers there. He is going and he's going to come out. Where is he? He's got a racer. He's racing this. He's in front of Gordo. I think that was very nip and tuck. And that is very close. And then Ayrton, I think, is going to have to let him by. He is going to have to let him by there. Unfortunately. Oh, no, he isn't, is he? I think Ayrton has got 8th position there. Curly in 10th position there. Gamer, unfortunately, has dropped down a lot. He's had an extra 5 seconds to his time there, approximately, because of that wing change there. New Potato in 12th position. Slayer in 13th. Serious Mushroom 14th. Bradfield 15th. Tommy 16th. Maldonado in 17th. Farf is coming out in 18th position as well. This is going to be very interesting. So the driver's on stop then is Wilson and BP. Wilson, once again, shown that he is a shrewd operator, or should I say a smooth operator, when it comes to strategy calls. Fantastic. TK and also Billis hasn't come in the pits even then, so very good strategy calls from those drivers. However, the only downside is they're going to have to take their pit stops under race conditions then, so we'll see how that one plays out. And there's still rain afoot then, and very good stuff indeed then. And let me quickly, as into the pits there, oh, sorry, I was distracted there. Into the pits, there comes a TK Billet also in the pits as well. Whilst we have a bit of a lull, then let me quickly, a quick catch up on the Oda comment, shall we? Really good stuff indeed then. As I just take a look then. Go on, Mushroom and Payne's do for the Williams team then. Well, the moment there, Serious Russians in 12th position. Payne's done a fantastic race in 5th position. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Emerson saying, awesome love by Ayrton. Get in there. Get them in the race, bro. Dylan saying, I think she's got a 5-place grid penalty. That was for Maldonado, who was a dry. She was down in 14th position there, which is very unusual, wasn't it? I think I forgot to change my wings there from Wilson there. Gordo saying, good luck, guys, indeed. Yes, it was very. Dylan also saying that Ayrton's doing a very good job. He really is indeed there. We got Julie Hilton there saying, come on, son, mum and dad are watching that. And Ayrton's also doing no traction either then. And of course, Julie's also saying, keep calm as my son there. Dylan saying Troy is like road runner in the lead at the moment there. Nice 360 there from Irish as well. Oh, safety cars in this. I've not even had a chance to read out all the comments. Goodness me, this is too much for me. Too much, I'd say. Equals saying I'm doing really well then. Good stuff indeed then. Mushroom is has got the master plan there. Theo saying, oh no, I'm late. Hello Sean, how are you doing? I'm very well, Theo. I hope you're well then. As BP is now backing off as well. Thank you. Thank you Sean for mentioning my son. Sorry to correct you, Murray. I think Ayrton designs your thumbnails. Indeed he does. He designs my thumbnails, my JPEGs, and all kinds of. But he also designed my helmet as well. As we've also got Dylan saying, I think BP and Wilson's waiting for the rain then, and Gio saying hello Sean as well. Hello, we're back racing now. 5-second penalty for New Potato. We're back racing. That's a very good point now from Dylan about the waiting for the rain there. BP is leading then. He's on the hard medium tires. Wilson's on the hard tires. BP's on the medium. If you made head and tails that, here's Troy. And Troy is now all over the back of Wilson. Wilson is on 17 lap hard tires, and Troy is alongside. Troy's got to Nigel now for company. There's going to be pressure now for Troy going up into the turn 3 hairpin. It's turn 2, I should say. I can't even stick to my rules. Gordo is got past Ayrton then, and Gordo's now up into 6th position. Ayrton dropping down 7th. Gamer is now as Curly's all on the back. Then Curly is really up for this race tonight. Wilson is battling away, and look at this. As Curly now is trying to force his way through. Is Gamer going to have any of it? I don't think he is, because Gamer is on the soft tires, and Gamer needs to make sure he stays in the stays in front as well, as now we got Curly in 9th position and New Potato in 10th position as well then. So then this is going to be cracking. This is cracking something. Oh my goodness me, Paynes is through. He's on the hard tires. He is going into turn number 9. He loves that corner, doesn't he? Oh, fantastic. Oh my goodness me. What's that? Oh no, Paynes is off the circuit. Oh no, and the Paynes there. That is a cruel blow for the man who's had an absolutely outstanding Grand Prix. He is spun out on the final turn there. Oh goodness me. And there they are. Now it's a BP and Troy and then a Balling coming up the hill as well. Wilson is going to have to defend from Gordo. Gordo's on the soft tires. He needs to get by pronto because Nigel is on the prow. And now Gordo's going to have the slingshot. He does have the slingshot. He is going to be through, but Nigel's on the outside. Is free abreast going down into turn number 3. Oh my goodness me. Troy's all over the back as well. Gordo's got the high ground. He takes a third position there. He's gone in too deep then, and Nigel's gone through then, and Nigel then is very calm, as you like then, as cool as a cucumber. Troy is now on the inside of BP as well. He is going up the inside. He is on the inside. Rain! There's rain on the cockpit of Troy's car. Oh my goodness me, BP might have pulled a shrewd move here. Oh my goodness me, he is back in the lead. He is back in the lead, and he takes it in the Austrian Grand Prix. He's forced Troy wide. Nigel's having a look on the inside as well, but BP leads. Troy is second position. Magnificent stuff here in Austria. Now it's Gordo. DRS has been enabled, but not for much longer, I think, as Gordo's over the third position. Nigel's dropped down to 4th, and this is the battle for a lead here in the Austrian Grand Prix. 20 laps out of 36, and magnificent stuff. 16 to go then. Look at these cars, and Curly's out of the Grand Prix. Curly and Washman out of come to blows, and now he's up in the inside, and Troy takes the lead. He's forced BP off wide then, and Troy, I think Troy got out of the way there. Gamers had a collision there with Wilson. It's a safety car. Oh my goodness me. And Unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened with Maldonado and Curly, but they've come to blows, and unfortunately, as for the safety car, we're just watching as a burnt one under. There's Curly's car just being strewn across the circuit. There we also see Maldonado as well, and watch Maldonado as well, then having issues, and 4 cars are out of the Grand Prix here tonight, and Troy is taking the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm wondering now then, when is the rain going to come here? Who is going to come in the pits? And this is a very difficult situation now for any of the drivers out there, isn't it? Because I'm not sure what to do. Well, I'm not sure what to do, and I'm not sure what anyone else would want to do here at the moment. Troy is in the pits. Everyone is in the pits, and Nigel is staying out. And is anyone else staying out as well? It's Ayrton is staying out then. So we've got a couple of drivers staying out then, whilst everyone else is coming in the pits. It's a very difficult situation for all the drivers then to make heads and tails of what's going on here. I got to say, I'm absolutely confused, which is starting stuff. Bradfield's up in the third position. Farf back in the 4th. Fantastic. With young Tommy in 5th, TK in 6th, Billy in 7th position there. Troy is on the intermediate tyres then. So I think it's too early for the intermediate yet, but it does depend on how long this safety car stays out for. If the safety car comes in, if it's a short safety car period, then the drivers on the dry tyres is going to absolutely be loving life at the moment. They really are indeed then. As into the pits there comes Paynes and intermediate tyres are going on the Williams drive now, and I think that they're going on to the intermediate tyres, and it's still steady rain at the moment, isn't it? So, and yes, we've seen a bit of water come up from underneath the tyres there. I think we're not far away from the intermediate conditions, are we? Lap 21 out of 36. Nigel leads. 2nd is Ayrton. 3rd is Bradfield. Farf in 4th position. Tommy in 5th. 6th is TK. But in 7th position, all those drivers have not stopped, and they're all on the dry tyres still. It is still too dry, I think, for the intermediate tyres, I would say. Is the safety car coming in this lap? No, listen, I'll think it'll be the next lap. On the intermediate tyres, the run order is like this: Troy, BP, Gordo, Serious Mushroom, Gamer, Wilson, and New Potato, Jake the Slayer, and Payne said. Nigel's in the pits, Nigel is in the pits. Ayrton is staying out. So Nigel's in the pits, and we've also got one of the Alfa Romeos is TK in the pits as well. Ayrton leads the Grand Prix. He's having an absolute stellar weekend, isn't he, here tonight? But of course, this is where it really becomes hero and zero stuff, doesn't it? This is where you need to be on the right tyres at the right time. It is not wet enough out there for the intermediate tyres, but 4 drivers are still on the slick tyres. Everyone else is on the intermediate tyres. And I think the safety car should be in there this lap. I hope so, because I got to say, I've really enjoyed this Grand Prix. The safety cars do really spice it up there. Bradfield is coming out of the pits as well, and then we've got a bit of a run now. But I think Bradfield has the high ground, and nope, he hasn't. He's down in 14th position there. TK TK 15th and Payne's in 16th. The rain is getting heavier though, isn't it? Let's go back on board the race here. It's Ayrton at the moment, and look at the raindrops are streaming off the camera here. It's going to be a lot worse for Ayrton on his visor, isn't it? Dylan saying that I think it's perfect time for intermediate tires and the safety car. Troy will have to hope for rain for the rain to come down. Then Julius saying, "Come on, son, F1 at number 1." Then, and he currently is leading the Grand Prix. Fantastic performance there from Ayrton. Equals saying, "Unlucky Maldonado, Gordo podium there." And we've also got Theo saying, "Go on, Jake the Slayer." Equals saying, "Oh my God, such a nice overtake as well." Theo has asked, "What are the penalties then?" Let's take a look, shall we? Whilst we got a bit of a lull then. Farf has got 11 seconds worth of penalties. Goodness me. 3 seconds for Ayrton, then 3 seconds for Tommy and Billy as well. Safety cars in and stuff. Troy has got no penalties. Nor has Serious Mushroom, nor is that New Potato or TK as well. Let's go back racing here in Austria. Look at that rain then. It's getting heavier and heavier. The golden rule to be is on the right tire at the right time, isn't it? I think it's still dry enough for the slick tires, but they need to make hay, and the next couple of laps will sit on two, because I think that the intermediate tires are very close then. And then we're just watching paint, and we're back racing here now. Ayrton leads second position. Nigel's got a penalty for going to the back of Potato. Ayrton leads. Farfare's on the soft tires. Ayrton is Farf is on the quicker tire at the moment, so Farf goes up from underneath the rear wing of Ayrton, and Farf takes the lead then, and we got a car off. Slayer's off the circuit. Bradfield is off as well, and Bradfield is in the wall. What's going on here? Now he got some pace there right underneath the rear wing of the Alfa Romeo TK. He is underneath the rear wing as well, and oh goodness me, they're almost merging into one. Then Gamer is dropped down behind Wilson. Wilson's up in the 9th position then. Let's go into a turn number 3. Then he's up the inside, but Wilson should get better traction. BP and Billet there and Troy are all battling for one piece of tarmac there, but unfortunately that's not going to help any of them there. And BP is trying to go up and under, and BP is the meat and the half sandwich here, isn't it? Goodness me. And of course, BP has just gone to the back of Billet. Billet is struggling on those hard dry tires, isn't he? And it's the cut off, and Farfetch just ran away and hid at this stage of the Grand Prix, as it is intermediate tires on Ayrton and Tommy are in the pits, and Troy. So yes, I think that they're having to admit defeat. Unfortunately, what a shame for Ayrton. He was on a magnificent race, and that underlines the pace of the intermediate tires, as BP is now up into third position. Billet dropping down to 4th, and his teammates behind him. I wonder if Billet is going to let his teammate through then. He's got a bit squirrely, but I think that Billet's done a very good job there of letting his teammate by, and I wonder if he's going to be a rear gunner now, because look at the cars queuing up behind. Here's Serious Mushroom. He is 20th position. He is up into 5th position now. Yes, indeed he is. Robot Potato. Oh, Billet and Potato have come to blows. And now then there's New Potato has dropped down the order. And Billet then, unfortunately, was half slide there. The New Potato's at the wrong place at the wrong time. And now Nigel is up into 6th position. Wilson has dropped down into 7th then. Oh, amazing stuff indeed then. Oh, Nigel's got damage. Nigel's got damage on the Ferrari. Major problems. Now he's going to have to come in the pits, is he? Or is he going to be able to live with the understeer on that car? And look at this then. So he's going to be very much twinkle toes now. Nigel is, isn't he? Farf is still leading, but now the gap is starting to drop down. Farf and Paynes are the only two drivers on the dry top compound tires. Now everyone else has gone the interest. Oh, sorry, I'm Billet as well. Billet is also on the soft tires then. And now as we go into the final turns here, Wilson's got a 3-second penalty. Farf is in the pits as well, as we're on lap 25 out of 36. How heavy is this rain going to be? But Troy is back in the lead after all the shenanigans that's gone on. BP's had a very controlled drive up into second position. Gordo's had a magnificent driving third, going for a second podium of the season and of his career as well. Fantastic. Serious Mushroom in 4th position. Nigel's got a bit of a queue form behind him now between Nigel, Wilson, TK and Gamer. Ayrton's back in the points, and young Tommy is not too far away either. Great stuff indeed there. New Potato is in 9th position, Gamer is in 8th position, and this is what we're watching now is Nigel, Wilson, TK and Gamer. Oh, great stuff indeed then. It's so Billet in the pits as well. Paynes is trying to stay out on the soft tires in 13th position now. I think he is fighting a losing battle though, isn't he? Paynes? I think that this rain is here to stay now for the foreseeable future, and look at those clouds up above the Styrian mountains here. Wilson having to correct the car there. And Serious Mushroom is now really pushing Gordo, isn't he? Gordo is in 3rd position, as we already mentioned then. Had a fantastic drive, didn't he, in the Monaco Grand Prix? Gordo did. And now yellow flag into his Payne's down submissions. And now Gordo is having another great drive once again. But Wilson's now all over the back of Nigel. There's some epic drives here tonight, hasn't there? There's been some amazing drives then. Wilson's one of them. BP is now, and Nigel's going on the inside to defend then. So Wilson's going to go on the outside. He's done it. He has got past there. And that is exactly what Wilson wanted. Now has he got the pace then to get up to the battle for the podium. Wilson could potentially be on the podium here. Here's TK. Here's Gamer as well. I have no idea what's going to happen here. TK is up the inside. He started 20th on the grid as well, didn't he? And he is out with a 6th position. Magnificent stuff indeed then. And now then we're watching a Gamer then, who is right underneath the rear wing. Bradfield's got a 3-second penalty to his name. And Paynes is coming to the pits and Nigel's having a look on the inside. Gamer is going to send it for it. I think he was trying to avoid it, Nigel at first, but now he's going to send it. Gamer is there. And he's I think he's just trying to damage limitation, I think, for Gamer at this stage of the season, isn't it? Because I gotta say, Troy is unstoppable, going for a 6th Grand Prix win of the season. Absolutely magnificent stuff for Troy. And Nigel dropping down the order. There's Potato up into a 9th position as well. Could potentially be 8th in the not too distant future. And Nigel then is just really struggling. And Nigel's on the front row of the grid then. Look at that then. I think there's a lot of cloud cover coming overhead now into the pits. There comes Nigel. He is struggling for the damage, isn't he? 9 laps to go in the Grand Prix. Nigel's going to be very unhappy at that, isn't he? Unfortunately, so Nigel in the pits, and that's a big blow. And now then, we're just back on board the battle for the podium then, which is a serious mushroom. Let's take stock then, as we are on lap 27 out of 36. And Troy leads by almost 2 seconds from BP in second. BP, this will be his best result of his career thus far, if I'm not very much mistaken for BP. It equaled his best result from France as well, because he got second in France, the French Grand Prix over a week ago. Second position, third position is Gordo, once again on the podium on a magnificent run, but Serious Mushroom's got no penalties at all, has he? In fourth position, doing a magnificent drive. Serious Mushroom is absolutely stellar stuff. Wilson in 5th position, TK in 6th, Gamer is in 7th position, 8th position is New Potato, Ayrton in 9th, and 10th position is young Tommy, once again doing outstanding driving, only a 2nd Grand Prix start. There's a Williams, oh my goodness me. And it's Paynes there, just recovering back onto the circuit, far outside the points of 11th position, but he's got a lot to do. He's got 11 seconds worth of penalties. Nigel down in 12th position there, Billet in 13th, Bradfield 14th, Paynes in 15th position. Retirement to the Grand Prix. Slayer out of the race. Welshman on and Curly came to blows there. Looked like quite a major incident from the two Welsh drivers. Baz out of the Grand Prix and Steve also out of the Grand Prix as well. 15 cars are left in this race, and the gap at the front is 2 seconds above. But Troy once again has got no penalties, has he? We need to stress that. Same with TK. He hasn't got any penalties either. So this running order could definitely very much change. So with 8 laps to go, look at the brightness glowing on that Williams car. Magnificent stuff, isn't it? As they are stamping on that brake pedal as well. Magnificent performance indeed. Let's take a look at the penalties, shall we? So Gordo's now got 6 seconds worth of penalties. Wilson's got 6 seconds worth of penalties as well. Gamer's got 3 seconds there. And New Potato's got 5 seconds. And Ayrton's got 3 seconds. 3 seconds for Tommy as well. Farf is down to 6 now after serving that 5-second penalty. And oh goodness, been a yellow flag again. And Paynes is having a nightmare, isn't he? Whilst his teammate is on the cusp of a podium, isn't it? It's incredible how much this race can change. And this dynamic of this Grand Prix has changed as well. And absolutely amazing stuff, isn't it? Troy is now up to 2.1 seconds. I was already mentioned, going for a 6th Grand Prix win of his career and of the season as well. Troy is really starting to march on, isn't he, to that Silver World Championship, isn't he? Troy is magnificent, isn't he? Really, I'm just absolutely in awe. Really good stuff indeed. Absolutely mega stuff from the Renault driver. The 2 Renault drivers, well, all 4 Renault drivers on a magnificent season, aren't they? Of course, Welshman on the go, our first Grand Prix win in the Canadian Grand Prix a couple of races ago. Troy, as we mentioned, he's on course for a 6th Grand Prix in the season. Emerson now took his 6th Grand Prix win in the season last night. I think, if I'm not very much mistaken, his 24th Grand Prix win of his career as well. And Jonathan is now also starting to get some points as well in the other Renault in gold then. So all 4 Renault drivers are going to be, I think, are on a magnificent season. Really are indeed then. But I think that Jonathan there could definitely, but I think that Jonathan would definitely be aiming for much more bigger things there in the second half of the season. That's for sure. In fact, of course, the man who has been on pole position 12 times in his ALR career. So definitely indeed. But keep an eye on Jonathan and Emerson as well, which will be on gold on Sunday nights, of course. Then remember tomorrow night, then Ayrton and Curly will be streaming the pre-season Grand Prix to make sure that all the gizmos and gadgets are working and all that kind of stuff. We're going over to Brazil then to do the pre-season tests then for all the bronze drivers then. It's going to be very good indeed, isn't it? So there'll be Ayrton and Curly on comms for that then tomorrow night. So keep an eye on that one. Yellow flags at the top of the hill then. Is Paynes is having a miserable, you could say a painful end to the Grand Prix, unfortunately for Paynes. But such a shame, isn't it? Because he was very much in the thick of things, wasn't he? Until it all went slightly wrong then, turn 9 a couple of laps ago, which is such a shame. It really is, isn't it? And so we're on lap 30 at the moment, and it's a bit of a status quo out there. No one seems to be making their move at this current rate of pace. Then Troy is still 2.2 seconds in front. Then Gordo is now 4 seconds away, and you can see that we've got a bit of a light bursting through the clouds there. Just in front of us is Paynes. I thought it was BP at first, and I was getting very concerned to see why with the BP there, but there he is there in the Pink Panther now, who is in second position now as well. Great drive from BP. It's going to be difficult to determine who's going to be driver of the day today. It's been an absolutely magnificent race there for several drivers out there. Let's take a look and see what their progress has been from the start to this race. Now Billa has had some issues there. He's going the wrong way as I'm doing a lovely spin there, Billa is, but he needs to get going because he's going to be disqualified. He has been disqualified, and Billa unfortunately, and he is he's going to be classified right at the back of the field there for Billa, as I think that was frustration there on Billet's car, but he's out of the Grand Prix. He's been disqualified from the session there, and a big blow indeed. Paynes is also out of the Grand Prix. He has left the race as well. So, 13 positions is BP at the moment there, and also Cirrus Mushroom up 14 positions as well, along with TK. Gamer dropping down 1 position from where he started. I think this between Cirrus Mushroom and TK for driver of the day. Oh, that's going to be a tough one, isn't it? I feel that I might give it to Cirrus Mushroom. As much as TK's been absolutely magnificent today, I think that Cirrus Mushroom has been absolutely stellar. But to answer that, TK's got no penalties either, has he? So that's a very difficult call, isn't it? And that's a call that I'm glad I'm not making here tonight, because that's a call too far for me. Jada Slayer said that my controller turned left for me on the straight, and me and Bradfield touched, so that's why Bradfield is down the order then as well. So unfortunately Bradfield was an innocent bystander, some technical gremlins there on Jada Slayer's car. That's such a shame because Jada Slayer was looking very on it as well, and we were damaged finger. I think Jake did a very good job up until that point. What a shame there for Slayer then. And as we got Julie saying, keep calm son, Ayrton is still in 9th position on this. Is some major points for Ayrton if he can keep going in, and that should get him out of the relegation zone then. We have also got Equal saying unlucky Jake the Slayer racked up some penalties after I hit and then damaged the cars in front of me. Carboy saying Troy just needs to bring it home, and it's another win for him. Yes, his 6th Grand Prix win of the season. Amazing stuff indeed. I keep saying it, but Troy is having a fantastic season. We thought Gamer was really having a magnificent start to the season for him. 3 Grand Prix in the 3 wins in the first 5 races. Unfortunately, he's coming a bit unstuck as of late here, hasn't he? But of course, the season is far from over. We're only going to be at half distance at the end of this race there, so anything could happen in ALR, and it usually does. And Dylan saying go on Mushroom. Julie saying pedal to the metal son then. Cardboy saying TK can get a podium with no penalties, and he's very good in the wet then. Equal saying a brilliant Mushroom then. Yeah, so I gotta say, if TK gets the podium then I think he might edge out driver of the day for me, as the rain is getting slightly heavy now. As you can see, we had a bit of splash of the old a bit of sprayer on the camera there for our troubles there. So Troy comes across the line at the moment, doing a magnificent job there. But yes, TK very good in the weather, and I think that he is in 6th position there. He should be in front of Wilson and maybe in front of Gordo as well. Good stuff indeed then, as we're on board then with TK. He started right at the back of the field for some unknown reason. I think that because I didn't think did he have a 5-second penalty as well? Farf has got a penalty, but he is he's now in the queue behind Ayrton at the moment. So this is the battle for 9th, 10th and 11th position then, and here they are now then, as Baz is after the session. He's going to be a bit disappointed, Baz, as he was one of the early retirements. His teammate Ayrton's in 9th position at the moment, and Ayrton there is going to be hanging on, isn't he, to the hanging on to the coattails of that AlphaTauri to try and keep in front. Troy has lost almost a second somewhere to BP, and that's really going to stir the pot then, with 4 laps to go in this race then. We have also got Wilson, Cirrus Mushroom, and now TK is now there. Conga line is now starting to form behind Gordo, on board with young Tommy, then who's having a battle in the end to the Grand Prix between himself, Ayrton and Farf as well. We're on board with Farf, who is currently sitting just outside of the points at the moment then. He does have a couple of penalties then, and the own drivers don't have penalties. Is Troy, TK, and Serious Mushroom, and potentially all those drivers could get a podium here, and I'm feeling that's absolutely deserved, and it really is indeed. And Tommy's off Tommy is off, he is in the wall. Oh, he's in the wall, then Tommy is, and that is not going to, did he, what did he go? I think he got on the power, didn't he? He did go on the power a bit too early there. He is in the wall then for young Tommy. What a shame. It's a nightmare for the Ferrari team today, and he is cruising back into the pits. I think young Tommy is, he is indeed. What a shame there, and he's damaged the end plate. And watch, that's a brutal blow, isn't it? Look at these cars now, they're all queuing up behind Gordo, and Gordo, remember, has a 6-second penalty, so does Wilson as well. So as it stands, it would be Serious Mushroom and TK who will be on the podium then. Oh goodness me, then, and Serious Mushroom going a bit wide there. I think he likes to take a more of a deeper line in, doesn't he? Young Tommy down in the 13th position, Bradfield is back up in the 12th, Farf is all over the back of Ayrton at the moment. Farf needs to get past Ayrton, and well, he needs to disappear by 9 seconds up the road then, so Ayrton technically has the high ground at the moment, doesn't he? So I think that Ayrton might not be too concerned by Farfen with her 3 laps to go. I think that Gordon might be a bit concerned about the queue behind him. Now here is Serious Mushroom then. He's on a magnificent drive today, him and TK then. I think that if TK gets the podium, we might have to go to TK then for drive of the day then, but I'm not sure what Formula 1 will reward the drive of the day to, but I think TK is a serious contender along with Serious Mushroom as well. And BP is now right up underneath the rear wing of Troy. I think that I wonder if Troy there is just trying to cruise into the end now, as he knows he has he knows that he has a 3-second buffer whatever happens in the Grand Prix. Magnificent race has been, and once again we have a wet end to the Austrian Grand Prix. It seems to be almost scripted, doesn't it, here in Austria? Magnificent stuff indeed. And I do love a good end to a good wet end then to a Grand Prix. Magnificent, isn't it? Magnificent then. So 13 cars remain in the 13 cars remain. This is one this is a very rare sight for Silver. We normally have quite a lot of drivers that are still in the Grand Prix at the end of this one, but it's been a brutal race. This one has it's been a very tough one to say the least, and to survive this. Well, let alone stay on the track, let alone survive this one with just 1 lap to go at the Grand Prix. Troy is about to start as well, but BP is all over the back of it. Serious Mushroom now is probably going to hang back, isn't he, because he has that 3rd place in the palm of his hand there. BP, so I think the BP might get 2nd position there, and I think it's between Serious Mushroom and TK for that final podium. I wonder who's got one more warning to go before getting a 3-second penalty. It's going to be very tight, isn't it? At the end of this one then. And TK then is also just sitting back a moment, and it's a great drive from TK as well, isn't it? Magnificent stuff. And BP is trying to go underneath the rear wing of Troy. Then of course BP does have a penalty. He's got a 3-second penalty. He's now running underneath the rear wing of Troy. Troy doesn't have a penalty at all. BP is going for it on the inside. He takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Oh, magnificent stuff, Ben. But Troy then could probably just sit back and watch him now, though, can he? Because unfortunately BP does have a penalty, doesn't he? But nevertheless, that was a good overtaking maneuver from BP. Look at how heavy the rain is as we come to the end of this Austrian Grand Prix. Oh, brilliant indeed. And how they keep it on the track is beyond me, beyond my mortal being. And absolutely great stuff. BP out of the final turn. He's going to come across the line first, but it's going to be Troye who is going to take his 6th Grand Prix win of the season. Troye wins the Austrian Grand Prix. That is 6 Grand Prix wins in 11 races this season. Absolutely dominating performance. Serious Mushroom, is in a 3rd position there. TK in a 4th. Gordo is upside down. Gordo's upside down. There is an almighty smash at the end there. But Gordo is in 5th position. Gamer in 6th. Wilson 7th. New Potatoes in 8th position. Ayrton in a very solid 9th position. Good stuff there from Ayrton. 10th position is Farfen. Nigel, I think, might be too far back in 11th position. Bradfield 12th for young Tommy in 13th position there. And there might be some very unhappy drivers at the end of this one. There's also going to be some ecstatic drivers then. But I think that as Gordo is now back on his wheels then, luckily for Gordo, and he's got fifth position today, I think that will Gordo be satisfied with that potentially? I think he did a very good drive there. He might be disappointed that he didn't get on the podium then towards the end of that race. But again, another solid result there for Gordo. He's becoming a very fine racing driver, isn't he? And TK does get the driver of the day then. We was debating about that for most of the, for the last 5 or 6 laps in the Grand Prix. So TK does get the driver of the day. And I cannot argue with that. Brilliant 70. Troy, top of the podium again. 6 Grand Prix wins then this season for Troy. My goodness me, this man cannot be stopped as we have reached the halfway point of the Silver World Championship. Magnificent stuff indeed. Then we go to the home of British Motorsport in a week's time then. And of course, that'll be round 12 of ALR Silver. Magnificent stuff indeed. BP in second position, and he did cross the line first, but unfortunately a 3-second penalty did cost him the race win. And Serious Mushroom, absolutely magnificent driving third position. Hats off to him as well. Troy's got the Grand Slam, pole position, fast up, and the race win. Magnificent. BP in second. Third position is Serious Mushroom. Great drives from BP and Serious Mushroom. I forgot the BP was in 15th. Magnificent. TK in fourth position from 20 from the grid. Gordo in fifth position. Gamer in sixth. Wilson in seventh. New Potato 8th. Ayrton in a fine 9th position. Far from 10th position. Bradfield 11th. Nigel 12th. And Tommy in 13th position. Retirement in is Billet, Pains, Jake the Slayer, Welshman, Nada, Curly, Baz, and Steve. Unfortunately, all retired from this epic Austrian Grand Prix. Absolutely magnificent, isn't it? And I think I'll be joining the gantry now by 3 drivers then who might be fairly happy with that result today. Let's start off with Troy, shall we? Troy, I've got to say, you're probably getting very bored of talking to me now, but this is your 6th Grand Prix win of the season. My goodness me, it was a challenging conditions out there, though.
Yeah, definitely. I knew it would be challenging as soon as the rain would start to come. So, yeah, I just tried to get a big enough gap before the rain would start, but yeah, I was unfortunate with safety car, but yeah, I still managed to bring it home. So yeah, I'm very happy.
And you got pole position as well. Let's continue on the qualifying performance from yourself today as well. I got to say, that's your 6th. I think that's your 3rd pole position of the season, and really well done indeed. Then, did you? How was that lap for you? Do you feel you can improve on that lap, or did you think that was nailed?
Considering the condition or the track conditions, I think it was pretty good. But yeah, I think that if I would have got a couple of more laps in on the softs, it would probably be better. I was very looking forward to the qualifying around here because this is one of my favorite tracks to qualify on. And yeah, I was really hoping to bring it or to get into the 102s. But yeah, the most important thing is still the pole and to start on first position, really.
How difficult is it to get like pole position on a green track per se then? Because it's just rain. It's very difficult to come out of the pits there on soft tires on a track that you've never experienced before when the rain's washed away the Pirelli rubber. How difficult is it to nail that one lap?
It wasn't too difficult because I've still done some practice around here. And yeah, I kind of know the braking points, but yeah, the braking points changed a bit since the track wasn't fully dry. So yeah, I got some corners wrong, but yeah, it was still enough to get pole. So yeah, I'm very happy with it.
And going on to the race today as well, then you mentioned about the rain and you was a bit concerned by the safety car as well. That almost undid all your hard work then, but you still came through the field then. How difficult is it to keep your head then in those very troubling times then? Because I've got to say, it was probably quite stressful at the halfway stage of that race.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I knew that as soon as that safety car came out, it would be kind of chaos strategy-wise. People don't know what to do really. So there were plenty of different strategies going on at the same time. So yeah, I got caught stuck in traffic for a while, and yeah, it's always worrying when you're not first and you have like a clean track ahead of you, because then you only have yourself to blame if something goes wrong. But yeah, I just try to take it as careful as possible, but still, yeah, get some fast overtakes done.
And that's your sixth Grand Prix win in 11 starts this season. We're at the halfway point now of the Silver World Championship. I got to say, you're now the target man, really, but you've got quite a nice lead then going into the halfway stage.
Yeah. The lead that made me a bit relaxed. I don't feel as much pressure. Yeah, I can enjoy the racing a bit more, maybe. I don't know. And yeah, I don't really know what to say. I just want to have good battles up front, really, with people. And yeah, so far it's been great, and I hope it's gonna continue like that.
Fantastic stuff. Well done indeed, Troy. Fantastic stuff today. Brilliant stuff. Let's come to BP, who crossed the line first there, but finished second today. You got your second in a row, BP. You seem to be becoming a very consistent performer in ALR.
Yeah, first of all, congrats to Troye, of course, for getting the race win. Yeah, it was a great race. Of course, getting a podium is something I'm very happy about. But yeah, I made a mistake in qualifying, which yeah, that's the reason why I had to start in P15, which makes your race a lot more difficult than you wanted it to be. Yeah, I was quite sure my lap was good enough for going into Q2, so I went to the toilet and I came back and I saw that I was P16. So yeah, that was pretty disappointing. But yeah, in the first phase of the race, yeah, I managed to get a lot of positions. Then the soft people on the soft pitted, and then yeah, I've got to admit it was very lucky that the safety car came. A lot of guys pitted on the safety car, but I continued because yeah, I was constantly asking Jeff what the weather was going to do. So he said at that moment rain is about 5 minutes away. So I was like, yeah, with the safety car added, the rain could come at any moment. So yeah, luckily the second safety car came because my tires were yeah, literally dead. And then I just followed Troye through, and yeah, the rest was quite good. Unfortunately, I had to really get used to the conditions because I drive with no assist, so it's quite difficult to yeah go from dry to wet. But yeah, as long towards the end of the race, I got more comfortable, and then yeah, the gap was coming down. I managed to overtake Troye even at the last lap. But yeah, he didn't have a time penalty, so congrats to him. And it was very exciting to drive this tonight.
It really was indeed, goodness me. And I wouldn't worry about that because Ferrari forgot to fuel the car one season for Felipe Massa, so it can't be any worse than that. But yeah, just going back, could we just expand on that? How difficult it is to go from dry to wet conditions and when with no assist? Then how could you explain to the viewers at home how difficult that is and what you need to do to change your racing?
Yeah, it's really difficult because, of course, everything changes. The brake, where you have to brake, how you have to accelerate, how you have to shift. It's all different, and because it's not instantly wet on the track, it makes it much more difficult because you have to adjust every lap to it. Yeah, and it's just you have to feel what the car is doing, and I'm driving on a pad, which makes it even more difficult, but a lot of less feeling of how your car is going to react. But yeah, it's especially with a dry setup, it can be quite challenging. So I was actually hoping for not to rain it at the race, but yeah, eventually it worked out, and yeah, I can be proud of my performance today.
Indeed, that was a cracking performance indeed, and thank you for explaining that to me because I've been taking notes and ready for my bronze debut next week. But unfortunately, all my assists are on. Let's come to a serious mushroom in third position at the end. Serious mushroom is between you and TK for driver of the day because I got to say you do make it hard for yourself. As you decide to park at the end of the pit lane in qualifying. What happened there?
The game did it to me. I drove in and pressed me pit limiter, and it just said the car wouldn't go forward, and it said parked in a dodgy place. So there you go.
Well, it doesn't matter at the end then because you got a podium anyway. And I got to say, it was a fantastic race. We were seeing you progress through the field nicely. How difficult was it to pick your moments and come through at the early stage then? Because it was absolute anarchy at the beginning.
It was actually, I think I got lucky with a few people going off as well. It was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, but I just stuck at it and thought, I basically just wanted points, that's it really. Then when I realised that I was quite close, and I thought, a lot of people in front have got points, so just stick at it and just keep going.
Did you know about the penalties? Was Jeff telling you about the penalties, or did you have the information there in front of you?
Yeah, they're on the front side of the screen to the left, so I knew that Gordo had 6 seconds. I think he had 6 seconds. And Wilson was catching me like mad, and he had 3, so if Wilson had passed me, I was going to let him go anyway.
So you was drawing within yourself then in the final stage then, and in the final stage as well, it seemed to be very wet out there indeed. Did you quite enjoy the wet, or did you prefer to have a fully dry race? Did you think you could have got further up the field if it was a fully dry race?
No, no way. I like the wet, to be honest with you, because I practice in the wet anyway, as a rule, because you never know, so it doesn't really change anything for me. Like, I think it was VP just saying, because I'm no traction as well, and it alters it a bit, but yeah, you just change and adapt to it, you know what I mean? So I just thought, keep it calm, keep it steady, and just keep going.
And that's exactly what you did as well. You got your second podium of the season. Fantastic. Going on to Silverstone in a week's time then as well. Of course, it's the home of British motorsport. How are you feeling then? Because this is another strong result then. You seem to really you seem to have an up and down season so far. Are you trying to just get some consistency going in your results now?
Yeah, I've had a miserable time lately, so nothing seems to go right for me lately, so I just thought, I'm just going to ease myself into it. I like Silverstone as well, so hopefully I can go well there. I'll probably qualify last, but I like the track, so I'll do my best.
Well, it doesn't matter where you qualify, it matters where you finish, as you've shown today. Fantastic stuff, man. Thank you, Mushroom, and thank you to everyone else as well. Amazing stuff today, and goodness me, then I need to lie down. Thank you to thank you to everyone who's viewed today as well, and thank you for all the comments, magnificent stuff. Remember, tomorrow night we got a special presentation. Ayrton and Curly will be streaming on Ayrton's YouTube channel then to do the pre-season race of bronze then 7:30 UK time. Then hopefully I don't miss it, but you don't know my time keeping all that kind of jazz. So yes, Ayrton will be sharing out the stream link then. So don't go anywhere, folks. That's going to be a cracker. And then bronze starts for Rio in a week's time. And that's going to be fantastic, isn't it? But see you next Sunday for the British Grand Prix from Gold. Goodbye.